maybe like I've been so out of the loop with the
I just want to see if we're on YouTube. Hang on a second.
That's the best way to be in the VC, out of the loop. That's where
well,
it's at.
don't go live, please. No.
We are
Yeah,
live.
we are.
We are
We
live.
are live.
No.
We are live. So be careful. Watch your P's and Q's.
I don't want to watch any
Watch your
P's and Q's.
Do you have that? You have that expression in America, huh? Watch your P's and Q's.
Oh yeah.
I just wanna see if we are
Oh,
live.
see now
You're
the
good.
ghost is telling me. You see the light ghost?
We are live.
There you go.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Nick, I have to ask you something before anybody gets drunk, because you put amplifiers together.
Yeah, I do. I just got some new PCBs today.
Right. So, but as a musician though, Nick, and as a composer, let me just hang on. Bear with me.
I wonder if anybody's going to find us.
You're a guitarist. Do you not do any like electronic music, since you're into electronics? Do you not do any electronic music?
You know what the funny thing is that I love guitar pedals and guitar effects. Like I have like the 3 of these enclosures that I've been holding on to since the early 90s.
Right.
I'm going to anyway.
So is it?
I love the effects pedals, but I hate using them.
Oh,
yeah, which is weird.
So why you don't like the sound effects that it?
No, when I learned how to play guitar, it was like on if you put a little bit of like reverb or a delay or slap back or a little distortion on your sound, it's gonna cover up mistakes. The ghost,
right?
it's gonna cover up any mistakes that you make. And I didn't have that luxury when I was learning to play guitar, so I had to learn to play well. And I never gave 2 shits about
So is it like cheating then, Nick? The pedals and using the pedals and everything. So let me give you an analogy. You know what's that? Is it auto cue, where if somebody sings out of tune, you can correct
auto tune?
So right. So is the pedals like auto tune?
No.
Okay.
I mean that now auto tune started off as just like a thing to I assume it was invented so that if somebody fucked up in the studio, you wouldn't have to have them retake it because studio costs money. So you just put this little tiny section or that one note that you were out of tune on, and you're and it cleans it up. But now like a lot of the hip hop world, and I notice it in pop a lot too, the sound of the music is auto tune. Like that's how their kids are used to hearing music now. And I'm just a grumpy old man. Get off my lawn. Like you do it the hard way. Learn how to do your craft.
Nick, we just got my daughter for her 10th birthday.
Yeah.
And her gift from me arrived later. But her mom, she's playing guitar and she's singing opera as well. So she got her first electric guitar, right?
Nice.
Mom was going to buy a kit, but I said, don't go for these kits. And you wanted an all-in-one. I said, no. And she got an Ibanez starter guitar.
Yeah, Ibanez, yeah.
And I got her the Gibson 10 practice amp with a cable.
Okay, good.
Yesterday she was playing
with the Gibson.
She plays House of the Rising Sun with her eyes closed, and she hits the strings like a blues man. I told her to go and Google Sister Rosetta Sister Rosetta.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's a.
Because we were talking about woman.
Badass.
Yeah.
This huge woman playing the
this
blues.
kid
like,
is
wow,
amazing.
Yeah.
She sits there cross-legged. I mean, the first ever record that I ever played her was the Beatles. Movie was Yellow Submarine.
That's a good start.
And basically, she sat there on the floor with this electric guitar, and it's an adult size now, and she knows the different frets and whatever. She's in France, but she sat there cross-legged. It was like George Harrison. It was. She had
with the down, like the
way she was sitting there.
Yeah.
Because we did a Zoom yesterday. She got the cable because the cable came late. And
I have so many fucking cables, dude.
Hey, Jim Jones vinyl.
Here's one right here.
Welcome, Jim. Do I know Jim?
There's somebody actually. Yeah, that's true.
The reason I was asking Nick about electronics and stuff is because I just discovered this English magazine. Am I the right way round?
Oh, they're theremins.
I built a couple theremins, dude. That's one of the hardest instruments to play.
That's what it says.
Yeah. You need a good sense of pitch.
Right.
And some people will absolutely hold on. Let me take care of this fucking light. Hold on. I might not be too lit up, but I'm gonna I was gonna try to pop on here.
So I've got to keep Nick on this question till I get an answer for something I need.
Yeah. I'm coming. Hold on.
I'm just switching back to my old glasses, my other spectacles.
Okay, I'm just holding a gun to Nick's head so he answers the question.
All right, hold on. Don't shoot yet.
Because I like this magazine. Which
I like this theremin.
I like this magazine so much that I just discovered that I want to write an article for it just to be in it. So I've got one idea in my head, but I need to run it through Nick because you've just mentioned Nick. You've just brought up theremin. So I need to ask you: what is the difference between a Moog synthesizer and a theremin?
Well, Moog is a company that makes theremins. The Moog is best known for this little keyboard. You've heard it. If you heard somebody play a Moog, you'd know it, and it's very distinctive sound.
Well, here comes the sun.
Is it on there?
I thought it was. I thought George.
On a Moog, you can only play one note at a time. You can't play chordal and stuff.
That's what I need to pin down, Nick, because obviously you know how a theremin is played. It's hands off, right?
Yeah. One's volume, one's pitch. Yeah.
Right. In every single instance of a Moog synthesizer, is it always on the keyboard? So it's hands on the keyboard. It's not hands off like a theremin.
No, you need to. You have to be pressing the keys to. And
right.
Then,
so I'm safe. I'm safe when I write down and make that distinction, Nick. No editor is going to come for my ass when I write that. Because I'm going to put.
I'll proofread it for you.
I'm going to put a footnote saying Nick Pantazian. You're full of
everything. You're not going to do that.
Just guys, just look at this comment. Does anybody know who this person is?
No, I don't.
No, but it's fine with me. Fine with me.
Can't separate peace from freedom because no one can, unless he has his freedom. Well, cool. That's kind of true.
Free speech. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing, Nick. Here's why I asked you.
Yeah.
Will I be able to show you? I might not be able. I won't be able to. Well, yeah, I can show you one thing. Just bear with me.
Sure. So
I might step out and have a cigarette and let you two guys talk for a bit. I'll take my phone to watch.
I was able to.
You're allowed to smoke on screen, Stephen. It's YouTube.
I don't smoke in this apartment.
I'm about to smoke up a storm on screen here.
There you go. Okay, so if I write the article, Nick, here's the basis of what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So bear with me. Bernard Herrmann, the film composer, scored this film. Am I the right way around?
Okay. I know that cover. That's a very well-known cover. Yeah.
Am I the right way around on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So he did this science fiction film in 1951.
That's from 51?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And he used a theremin. So there's a theremin. This is the CD soundtrack. It's the original master tapes.
Wow.
And there's a theremin on it. Now, this only came out I think it was in the 1990s. So when the film was released, there was no soundtrack. So back in the old days when I was a teenager collecting records, this is all we had to go on, which you've seen me show this before. So this is an album from 1970, I don't know, 74. And what this is that Bernard Herrmann went back into the studios and re-recorded some of his old scores. So in London. So he went into a recording studio, re-recorded The Day the Earth Stood Still. But as you say, Nick, theremin's very hard to play. And they couldn't find a musician who was proficient with a theremin. So instead, Nick, what they used is a Moog.
Well, that kind of makes sense because theremin is only capable of making one note, as is a Moog.
Right.
Or the early Moogs.
Right. So if I go ahead and see if I can work this article out, what I'll be doing is trying to compare this recording from 1974, which uses a Moog in place of the theremin. It's conducted by Bernard Herrmann, the original composer.
Oh, cool.
But he uses a Moog. I'll be comparing that with this CD, which is the original soundtrack, which uses a theremin, to see what differences they are, because it's the same score, but it's a different instrument that's playing the lead. So that's why I needed to ask you about the Moog and the difference between the Moog and the theremin.
Yeah, I mean, one's a keyboard, one's a. I mean, I've built a couple of kit Moog, theremins. I mean, and they're pretty easy and fun to put together. And it was actually, I want to say it was a Moog kit, and a friend of mine, he's actually really good at theremin. And
wow.
you know what? People are gonna get angry when I say this, and I believe me, I've had plenty of bickering matches about this. I believe that people are either born with true musical ability and talent, or you're not. Okay. I mean, yes, you can practice and you can get proficient, but there are some people that it just comes much more easily to.
Right.
My mother being a perfect example of that. She was a true musical savant. When I say savant, I'm not using it in some, it's not like I'm not being hyperbolic about it. It's just she was a true savant. I mean, you could play a note and she'd tell you what note. She was an insane music. She played Carnegie Hall when she was like 19, dude. And
your mom,
yeah. And so
so Nick, what's the nearest you've come to building a theremin? Have you built one with like the
two of them
with the two aerial ones?
Yeah. One.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I don't really. I mean, they're pretty easy to put together. I mean,
wow, Nick, you could sell those for quite a lot, man.
It's like these I can rebuild and sell these too. We could put like, how much does a theremin go for? today, like a handcrafted, made.
It's got it. Ooh, handcrafted, and if with the two wands, because some cheat and they just have the one aerial wand. But if you're doing the two, what would you say, Steven? £1,000?
Oh, I don't think, is it really that much for?
Well, I'm guessing, mind you. I'm just guessing.
£1,000 for what?
A proper theremin with the two.
I'm sorry.
With the two aerial ones.
My friend keeps texting the hell out of me. Let me just jump over real quick. I'll be right back.
I mean, I've got a mate who was actually trying to sell a Selma saxophone. I mean, those things are.
Well, I used to have one of those, Steven. I sold mine for. I bought it for £600 in 1986.
You don't even want to know now.
Really? This was
I'm just going to go like price.
It was a 1947, Steven.
Jeepers.
Selma alto sax.
No, the Germans like the silver ones, the Brits like the brass ones. A friend of mine was trying to sell one of two. And he unfortunately wanted to try to get the silver one to the UK. And the shop or the person I got to, price of theremin.
Well,
let's see.
I took
around $100 for basic kits to the premium professional instruments like the Moog Etherwave, which can cost significantly more. $400 up. This is silly AI. This must be an AI overview. I'm just tired of AI. I've also given up on Bluetooth as of today. I've been using it just as convenience, but I've decided it's crap.
I played the saxophone every day for 6 months, and I took lessons from George Galway's brother. You know, the flautist, James Galway. Sorry, James Galway's brother, who is George Galway.
I've got some Galway records here somewhere. Where's Nick gone?
So he's just gone to answer a text. So I tried it for 6 months, and I just knew that I was never going to get any good. Because like Nick says, if you're either born with it or you're not. Well, I discovered I'm not. So then I sold it.
I mean, it was amazing that, just thinking about when he mentioned that his mum had played at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, at 19.
And then I think about George, being the prodigy kid as well.
Right.
Yeah, we did have a little earlier talk about you and Brian, and I just said I fully understand where you come from. It's why you're my mate, and that's it.
I've got a feeling it'll sort itself out. I think.
Oh yeah.
Like life does. So tell me about.
I got quite a shock that the doc's wife passed. I met her. Hey, Doctor. They were in South Africa.
Right. Tell me about this. What I was going to ask you about the builder. Because this it's
not for YouTube.
Okay,
but we got scanned.
All right. Generally, though, where you are now, is it a bit better than where you used to be before? Generally.
Got some issues with certain people, but it's fine. I'm inside and it's quiet, and
well, that
can get funny.
Yeah, that's human beings. What's the joke, Steven? Hang on. Who was? Jean-Paul Sartre said hell is other people. You know that, don't you? Hell is other people. That's what Jean-Paul Sartre said. Hell
is other people.
Other people. Yeah, that's what he said.
Well,
so there's. Yeah, so it's a famous saying of Jean-Paul Sartre's. Hell is other people. It's quite misanthropic, isn't it, as a saying that? So because Jean-Paul Sartre said hell is other people, there's a joke going around that Jean-Paul Sartre's son said hell is other people's kids, as if he passed it on to the next generation. Hell is other people's kids. So wherever you go, in other words, wherever you go in South Africa or Britain or America, there's always going to be neighbors, always going to be fucking neighbors.
How's this comment? Comment?
Yeah, I'd reduce it to less than the family, actually, because you know me, I circle the wagons as a bachelor.
Nick's back. I'm just going to step out and have a quick cigarette, if that's all right.
That's fine. You can. Why aren't you smoking on screen?
It's just not. It's not allowed in this apartment. It's just I wanted to get away from it. And let me just. I'll step out. I'll watch you guys chatting on the phone. I'm just going to step.
Stephen, you could pretend it's incense like I do.
No.
All right.
It's discipline.
All right then.
Okay. So I'm just going to. How do I? I've got to add Nick to the stage.
There.
And how do I take myself off?
I think you can just
you click your hands 3 times. That usually does it, Stephen.
I was just gonna. I thought it was 4, but
there you go. I've done it. I've helped him.
All right. I'm gonna just listen on the thing. You guys can have a bit of a chat. I'm gonna go and have a cigarette.
Okay.
So that's the one that I've shown you, right? But I've bought secondhand. I must have bought about, oh my God, about 15 of these back issues, and there are some really interesting ones. So this is one that's about factory records in Manchester.
Oh yeah. Well, that was a legendary. Oh, Clockwork.
Because that's got electronic music in the soundtrack.
Right. Yeah. It has old Beethoven's Ninth.
And this is my favorite one so far. This is looking at the 50s sci-fi right up to Blade Runner to look at the electronic soundtracks.
What years did these magazines come out?
Well, it's still going now, Nick, but this one is, I think this one you're looking at now, I think it's about 2020.
Oh, okay. So I thought it's not like a 70s or 80s.
No. And I'm working around to showing you. So you Americans probably won't know.
I know that one. Yeah.
Oh, do you know the puppet series Captain Scarlet? Do you know that one?
I know of that character. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you get these magazines early on, every single issue has included for free a free 45 RPM. So this is the theme.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is the theme tune to the TV series that you've just seen the cover of. And there's one on
a CD or a 45.
Well, it's a 45.
Oh, it looked.
But sometimes they are CDs. But this is a 45 RPM.
Okay.
They did a Kraftwerk issue, so there are some rare Kraftwerk on the 7-inch that they put. But those are very rare to get with the discs in. So all these other ones that I showed you before, they don't have the disc. But I've managed to find a guy who sold me 4 of the 7-inch discs that I can put in the issues later on. So it's just become a sudden obsession, this magazine, which I only discovered this week. And I won't go through them all. I'll just show you one more.
No, this is interesting. Believe me, I'll get out my RCA tube receiving manuals soon.
Do you know of the English innovative producer called Joe Meek?
I know of the name, yes.
Okay, so he did a famous single in 1962 called Telstar. It's an instrumental single called Telstar.
The Ventures had an album called Telstar, I believe.
Maybe they did a cover of it, because it was a big deal in 1962. It's like a space age sort of thing.
Okay.
So this issue is about Joe Meek, and one of the pieces of vinyl that's coming is the single accessory that came with this magazine that I don't have.
Did you found one though?
Yeah, that's a nice cover.
Nice.
Because because you remember the TV series Doctor Who?
Oh yeah, dude, I watched that religiously as a kid. With the new Doctor Who bullshit. I want the old guy with the big scarf and the
Okay, so I love the design of this, because you can tell it's a Dalek, even though it's 2-dimensional, and they've just put all the dots in and the stuff.
Yeah.
So because Doctor Who was the theme tune and the incidental music was composed by the BBC Radiophonic Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
You know about that?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, in BBC Centre, there's this little place cut off the beaten track where these people experiment with electronics souped up electronics. And in 1966, Paul McCartney wandered into BBC headquarters to have a word with the people who do the Radiophonic Workshop, because he was quite taken with the Doctor Who theme.
Oh,
and the Beatles, the Beatles were.
That's a theremin, by the way, obviously.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what they use for that. It sounds a bit like that, doesn't it?
I think it's a theremin. I'm almost positive.
Okay,
because
well,
you can hear that when the notes like are legato, which means they kind of slide, and like staccato is and legato is
right.
Right. You know, they kind of it doesn't just land right on the note. It kind of goes into it. Yeah.
Would that be another incidence of the difference between a theremin and a moog, or can a moog do that as well, slide in?
You know what? I'm not sure. Some keyboards have a little thing on the side that lets you, like, if you hold down a note, it lets you like bend the pitch. Like, see, that's
I've got to be. That's no good, Nick. I've got to sound like I know what I'm talking about in this article, even if I don't.
Send it to
Trish.
me, and I'll proofread it and just make sure you didn't write anything dumb.
All right,
I'd be glad to do that.
Okay, so Paul McCartney wanders into BBC headquarters in 1966, and he says, "Can you tell me where can I find the BBC Radiophonic Workshop?" So they tell him where to go. He's wandering around. He finds the Radiophonic Workshop, knocks on the door. He's allowed in, and it's 2 rooms. And it's 2 guys in lab coats, and there's fucking wires and shit all over the place, and the backs are off all this electronic gear, and it just looks like somebody's garden shed twice over in 2 rooms. And he was expecting something fancy, because he's coming from EMI Studios, Abbey Road.
Right.
And so he's come to ask a bunch of questions about how do you get this effect and that effect, and he's talking to these 2 fucking boffins in lab coats. So that was quite interesting.
Well, I mean, when you see all the old pictures, like George Martin, like he used to wear like a suit and tie to as an engineer, like, you know, I miss those days, like where people gave us, by the way, you know.
Yeah.
I've got a Joe Meek compilation somewhere, and I've also got an ebook on Joe Meek, which I'm gonna see if I can get to you 2 guys.
Yeah, I need to find out a bit more about him.
Very interesting character. I've often always been behind the producer, you know, and it fascinates me. You know, I just wanted to show this quickly. I mean, I might be diverting, but this is a book where, as I'm pulling out all my books and I'm more organized here, well, getting organized. This is Mongolian music, dance, and oral narrative, but it says whole history, but it's got a CD with it.
There you go.
Nice. These books with CDs. The CDs are great. But Dick, I must tell you today, I was playing again with the little Fears. I've been using Bluetooth, and then suddenly now I've gone to Mac. The Fear needs an upgrade, and it can the firmware is not working. And suddenly, it can only be done on a PC. And I've gone back to Mac, and I just decided, you know what, Bluetooth can go to hell.
I won't. I'll even do MP3s before I'll do Bluetooth.
No, I've got some high-end Bluetooth. I mean, these are, aptics and I've been using it, but I'm just tired of how they just keep chopping and changing on the firmware. And it's the same as when we got the router here. We've got South Africa. There's TP-Link and Huawei. Now Huawei is not allowed in the States, and we got an Asus. Which basically I've got VPNs. I can see who's on the network. I'm just feeling secure.
Yeah,
because I mean the internet is a weird and mad, crazy place.
I'm not even sure what Bluetooth is, and I'm not posing. I honestly
you don't want to know, 4D. We don't want you to know.
But Bluetooth is basically wireless.
We want you to play the theremin.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd love to have one.
Bluetooth is basically transmitting something wirelessly, like music wirelessly.
So it's like Wi-Fi then.
AirPlay and oh my god, it goes on and on and on.
Is it Wi-Fi? Is it the same thing as Wi-Fi then?
It's kind of similar, but
oh, Nick,
40. It's going to give you more brain damage than you've already got.
yeah. I am too. You know, I feel like I'm 80 years old with get off my lawn, kids. You watch your language. Like
right.
I like my records, and I enjoy putting a record on. Heaven forbid I have to get up and flip it over.
Right, but
Nick,
isn't your lighting system controlled by Bluetooth though?
No, it's controlled by.
Does anybody know who this band is?
Sweetback?
I've heard of it, Steven, but I don't know, to be truthful.
It's an interesting one for you, for the vinyl lovers. Sade. Well,
yeah.
The band is actually called Sade, although it's her name as well, Sade Adu.
Is she on that?
Nigerian. However, the band that backed her, because eventually she became Sade, although the band was called Sade.
Yeah.
And that backing band is Sweetback.
Oh, okay. I bet that's awesome then.
So this is them without Sade then, I guess.
Yeah, and it's just a funky, groovy. So they are Stuart Mattheman, Paul Spencer, Denmark, Maxwell and Amel Larue. It's a 20th anniversary edition of this record. 2 LPs, 140 gram import. I don't know when I got this.
So was that recorded before or after they got together with Sade?
No, after.
After, okay.
I think it's still got the shrink on, and I should be taking the shrink off. Like Naz.
You know what? I leave the shrink on all my shit. If
come on, Nick.
See it bow after a while, then I'd rip it.
But what if it's a gatefold? You want to read the inside?
Oh, if it's a gatefold, then I take it off, but I keep the hype stickers. I like the whole.
No. Don't forget the hype is a sequel.
Well, I mean, here's an old blues album. Jimmy, I was listening to this earlier. This is awesome, actually. It's an old Intervention Records. Jimmy McCracklin.
I've heard of that.
And this guy is badass, man. And I had bought this collection of I
love Nick showing an album in the dark. You might as well show the Monolith from 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's how we can see it.
I have that too. God, I think I've finally come to term that, and I've been letting some of them go slowly, because there are certain bands that I absolutely I set out just buying their albums, and then it became a mission to complete their entire vinyl discography. I'm not just talking every album, I'm talking every pressing from every country, from every, and some think of a band like the Beatles to do that with. Impossible. Can't do it.
Yeah.
But some of the, the rare, the punk stuff that I like, Bad Brains, Morphine, I have all of that entire. Actually, there's 1 or 2 Bad Brains records I'm missing.
I've got Morphine even on cassette.
Oh, which one on cassette? Is it good or Cure for Pain?
Yeah, it's Cure for Pain. It's in Ryko.
Is it a real Ryko disc cassette on the green kind of?
Yeah. No. This is actually, they even pressed a cassette in South Africa. It's probably as rare as hell.
Oh,
but yeah, South African Ryko.
It absolutely is. I have one of the bands that I've collected their entire discography of is, a band called Helmet. And
I know Helmet.
Yeah, they sound like just like this heavy, crunchy band, but if you listen to it, the musicianship is on a whole other level. And the guitar player, he went to, like, he's a trained player, and he actually played with Bowie for a while.
Who was he?
Page Hamilton is his name.
Okay.
Guitar player, singer for Helmet. And so their first album, they came out with a 12-inch single first called Born Annoying. And, you know, first of all, I'm sure you're the same way, Stefan, and I'm sure you're the same way too. Do I call you Gary or 4D on here?
Well, I am the same way with Stefan, because that's why I put my glasses on, so that we are the same way.
These are my old ones.
I need new glasses so fucking bad.
Me too. Just the cost.
So anyway, I'm sure you guys are like this in certain areas. Like, if I hadn't have been collecting records since I was like 14, like there is no fucking way in hell I would be able to buy them now. I mean, the prices
me too.
It has gone through the roof. And when I look at like some old records that I remember like buying for, like, a perfect example is the Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique. I have an original first pressing of that, and it came out on Capitol, and Capitol wasn't happy because it wasn't just a gatefold, it opened again. Like, so it was like and if you put it together, it's like this panoramic shot of the whole block that they used to live on in New York City. And those records, like, I remember buying that for like $5 at a flea market. I used to go to flea markets every Saturday and Sunday morning and just come home with piles and piles of records. And when I looked up the Paul's Boutique, they're going for like $500-$600. A sealed one just sold for $1,200. And it's like, are you kidding? Like, and it's not like I'm not gonna play it either. Like, that's where it's like, yeah, that it has value, so I'm never gonna play it. I don't understand that. Like,
talking about sealed records, Joe Mayo put me onto a gatefold soundtrack. I used to have it in the 1970s. It's a 1965. So it's a 1965 soundtrack called The Warlord. Right. So 1965.
Oh, it was 44. What was the cents in?
That's 44 cents. It says on there.
Oh,
right. Now, I used to have the British version of that, which was not a gatefold. So when Joe Mayo showed his version, and he got it for $1, can you believe it? He only bought it like 2 weeks ago, and he bought it for $1.
Yeah, you never know.
And he opened it out, and it had this gatefold in it with pages in the gatefold. And I thought, my God, I got to have that. So I went looking, and I bought this from America. And this guy was saying it's sealed. And I thought, 1965 sealed? Did they even seal records in 1965?
Right.
I'm not sure they did, you know.
A lot of them weren't. And there are also people that unscrupulous sellers. Yes. Sometimes, you know, they'll clean, if the record is clean enough, they'll seal it. You can buy sealing machines, and then they'll sell it for the sealed price. And I don't want a sealed record. I want it opened to know the condition. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right. Well, you know how I know this wasn't sealed from 1965. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little dot up there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where the actual album cover has been perforated.
Oh, it was probably a promo.
Okay, but
or like if you ever see like a corner cut or one of those, like,
yes,
like
delete.
Those are either promos or bargain bin.
Or out of print, yeah. Right. A sign of out of print, right? But the point is that the seal wasn't broken. So that tells you, huh? That tells you.
Did you get in touch with them?
No, I'm all right. I feel okay with it. It cost me quite a bit, but that's because of the international postage.
Right. It's fucking ridiculous.
And when I played the album, it did play pristine. It might as well have been mint. So I'm happy. I'm cool enough with that. But it's still in the shrink because I haven't opened up the gatefold. So I bought it for the gatefold, and now I'm not fucking opening it because I want
to open it.
The shrink is taken, you know. Well, do you have like a stash of outer sleeves and inner sleeves, like good, you know, like
you must get.
You mean better quality? You mean like poly sleeves?
Yeah. I mean, like
I've got poly sleeves as
like,
a back.
Like this, like the
Nick, you're completely in the dark, man. You could be showing anything.
You can't see me at all. Okay.
No, Nick, I'll be getting them back from the States. But I was talking about records. I wanted to show you something. Soundtracks. I mean, he did a couple, but he was also with the Modern Jazz Quartet. But this is an original. This is John Lewis.
Let's have a look.
But he plays the arrangements of Gary McFarland.
Right, that's new to me, Steven. I like the cover though.
Yeah, I think this is an original Atlantic.
You show the cover again, the front cover, Steven. Oh, I like that.
Just move the screen back a bit. Just hang on a second. Just because of the chair.
This is actually the first time I've been back at my house in probably close to a month.
And then this is one for Nick.
And the Gun Club. Yep. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, this guy was God, man.
A month away from your house. Have you been on the lam?
No. Like if we weren't live, I'd tell you what.
Okay.
What
all right.
I'm here because I needed to go to the shop, and yesterday and today, and I needed to get a few things, and I'm heading back tomorrow morning. But I felt badly because I also like have like 4 or 5 piles of records I need to send out to people that and I don't want them to think that I've forgotten about them. But if you heard what happened, like a month and a half, 2 months ago, you'd know why I'm not here. I'm not going to talk about it live. But
okay, well in that case, to discreetly change the subject.
The Burbs.
Yeah, this came today. It's a soundtrack by Jerry Goldsmith, and this is the special limited edition soundtrack.
Yeah, I've got an OST section of about 100 or 150 records, but I mean nothing like you've got 40.
Right, so it's a double album, and even secondhand, it cost me 80. I think it was £82 for this. £82, which is ridiculous amount of money, but it's Jerry Goldsmith, so and it's quite a famous score.
Layout, yeah, man.
It's quite a famous score. So
look at that. I love the color of that thing.
Yeah, so that's what came today.
Wait, is that a poodle with an axe in its head?
That's right. Yeah, it's because it's because of something that happens in the film. Have you seen the Tom Hanks? Have you seen the Tom Hanks film, The Burbs? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And with Bruce Dern in it as well.
Do you remember? I think he was in a movie called The Money Pit too. That
which one, Bruce Dern or Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks, I think.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm not sure. And I obviously, I don't know if I even dare say this, but Tom Hanks may have been on quote the list, and we know what list that is. And I'll say this, and then we can drop it. Those elite fucking billionaire fucking people, like what is in their, like, something's wrong in their head for to do things like they've done. It's so disgusting to me. But anyway, Forty, do you have like, obviously you're a soundtrack guy.
Yeah, soundtrack guy. Yeah.
Like, how many soundtracks do you think you have?
Bobby Gass asked me that the other day, and I couldn't answer him. I'm really not sure. And I can tell you that I only started buying soundtracks again a year ago when I bought a turntable again. But I used to collect them in the 1970s when I was a teenager, and I don't know how many I had then either. They just kind of I don't really collect. They just accumulate when I buy another one. So I don't really.
What's collecting?
Yeah, but I don't actually know. Like for instance, I could say I've got about 40 John Barry soundtracks, and I've probably also got 40 Jerry Goldsmith soundtracks, and maybe I've got 30 Bernard Herrmann soundtracks. So I could sort of work it out that way, but I don't really know, to be honest.
Like, how many do you think, like, crates do you have? Well, a crate holds about 50 to 60 records.
Well, I only have 3 crates to my name, so, and they're full. But there's stuff all over.
There's records all over the place.
Yeah, if I was to turn this camera around, you'd get culture shock by how cluttered and messy
me too, dude. I'm with you. There are literally
the scary part. Once I moved into this larger apartment, I had everything in storage, and I've given away about 500-600 classical records, and I've got about another 500 or 600 to give away.
Wow.
Of what kind of records?
Classical.
Oh.
Yeah, I inherited that.
Have you spoken to Anthony?
They're not prepared to ship from South Africa. They got to be cleaned. They've been in mold. Some of them are good.
Oh.
They're brilliant recordings. I've kept the cream of the crop, and I've sold, But the bottom line is, so I've given them to people. Thank God that we didn't throw them. They've been given to friends of mine that are musicians and music teachers.
Yeah.
So it's gone to good homes.
I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with the channel Real World Audio, the guy that does it, his name is Janos, and he's become a good friend over the years. And man, what an awesome person. For all the pitfalls of, social media and the bullshit that comes along with it. I mean, imagine 20 years ago, if you would have told me I'd be sitting here talking to 2 friends, one in England and one in South Africa. I'd say,
I'm both crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that, and meeting.
Me too.
But again, I've been what 40, let's talk about. So you, about 2 days ago, I started just kind of flipping through like what I've been missing and what I've been, and you've been making the rounds, huh?
Yeah.
And I
was even on Michael Pillman's. You know, at the end of a Michael Pillman broadcast,
he has the noise thing.
Yeah. So I went up.
What did you play? The theremin?
No, I played this. I played a cider bottle.
That's awesome.
What it is, Nick, part of my character, whether it's bipolar or not, I mean, it's never been diagnosed, but part of my character is to go from one extreme to another with nothing in between. So I can be on YouTube and in the VC for like 9 years and never show my face, and then all of a sudden, as you say, I do the rounds. So that
you've become the celeb.
You're the
celeb. People find you. I mean, you've been this guy in the chat forever that always like the first thing I noticed about you was the perfect grammar and spelling, and
Yeah.
like that warmed my heart, because so many people, like, first of all, I think we should start having penalties. Like, people should get tickets for fucking up there, and there, 2, 2, and 2.
But listen, as the host of the show, as the host of the show, I'm just gonna give 40 his little 2 cents, because his first comments when I first came on Rachel, when I did it through the load shedding, and I was holding the inverter that it was sitting right here, that said looked like a toaster. But 40, all I can say is you are very, very lucky now that you've gone public, okay, that basically there is you're gonna get the trolls in that, okay, but there's no Marius Stark around.
well, and
that the ghosties don't exist anymore.
Yeah, well, but I tried to explain to Rachel that, because Rachel made a big deal of the YouTube numbers racket, made a big deal because I showed up on screen. But what I was trying to explain was, if you spend years writing long comments under other people's videos, eventually people want to find out who the fuck it is. That's all. And once their curiosity is satisfied, so all that is a blip in the YouTube numbers racket, because this guy shows up who's only ever been in comments, and after that it all settles down. So that's all that was.
Just the fact that I'm going to take
a smoke break now, but since we last spoke, I've been in the fountain pen community now.
Oh yeah,
there's about 12 or 13 here.
Yeah, man, he was just showing me his pens, man.
Wow. Old ones, though, and some new cheap ones. But
hold them all up again, Steven. Hold them all up like you've just done. You look like Edward Scissorhands.
Ah,
sorry.
You look like Edward Scissorhands.
This is the cheapest fountain pen on the planet, made in China.
Funny? But
it's a Jinghao's shark.
If you had like if you were like tattooed like from the neck, like, and if your whole torso and arms were all tattooed,
like the illustrated one. How did that idea get into your head? What's that got to do with anything, Nick?
I just think, like, people don't, like, I mean, you and I have been communicating for, quite some time. And, and you're definitely one of those people that, my life is certainly better for having met you. And, we have something here that...
This is why I'm in dick.
So, anyway, so I what were you talking about? Rachel, and then the numbers, like what? There was one time.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
I was on Rachel's for I don't even know how when this was, but she noticed that I only had like 70 something subscribers, and I've never ever tried to get subscribers. Right. I've put up like 3 videos over the course of like 5 years of just my turntable with a record on it in my room. That's it, 3 of them. And she said, let's get those numbers up there. Come on. No, don't do that. And sure as shit, I jumped right up to 126, and I've been there since that. Since then, which was probably, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago. It hasn't moved, and that's fine with me. And I've never, like a lot of the stuff that I do, working on shit, I know that if I recorded it, like building something or showing someone how, this works or whatever, blah, blah, I think people would, I mean, there's definitely a nerd culture out there that really enjoys that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I've thought about it, but man, it would just be one more fucking pain in the ass that you go in with good intentions and you're gung ho and and then 3 weeks later you fuck this man, and then how it works.
It's the obligation to have to keep turning them out once you get on that treadmill.
Anyway, I'm glad that people finally get to see like who you are, because you're I've even told like I told my dad before I came in to talk to you guys told him, I said, I'm going to go do a stream right now, and it's with two friends. One of them is in the UK and one of them is in South Africa. And I said, because my dad he's one of those, like, he's too smart for his own good. He got like, he was the valedictorian, perfect SAT score, went to Yale, blah, 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 blah. And is he happier now because of it? No. And, but, I think people at least getting to know you are immediate fans of 4D.
Actually, that is probably
I can't hear you. You're muted.
Am I muted?
No.
You can't. Can you hear me?
You is muted. Oh, did Steven mute you?
It could be to do with Steven not being on screen. Hang on.
Here he is.
Steven, can you hear me?
Can't hear 4D.
I heard 4D.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Steven? Okay,
yeah.
so
you can hear him? All right, let me jump out and jump back in.
Okay. Nick's having audio problems, I think. But I think I'm okay though. I know you can hear me though.
No, it's looking good.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, we love Nick. Nick is this is a good chill show, which is what I wanted. I get a thrill out of being on chat with you guys.
Yeah,
there you are.
Nick really is somebody that everybody likes. Everybody in the VC likes Nick.
No.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Well, maybe even in the Falcon Pen community. And Nick, by the way, I've not watched old OCD. What's his name?
Oh, OCD Mikey.
I mean, you notice what the name of this show is? What I've called it on YouTube.
Well, this show?
Yeah, tonight.
Oh no, I didn't see it. I didn't see the.
I think it's still got the same name. A mate of mine did it because I was put onto Ritalin in '79, so it's called the Ritalin Kid OG.
You've been on Ritalin since '79.
Well, on and off, yeah.
Okay, I mean
everybody wants to get on the spectrum these days because they. I think it's. I mean, that's what we're streaming as, because this is the first time I've actually ever managed to keep the same stream. I scheduled it for like weeks back and just didn't do it. And but let me just go onto YouTube and see where we're streaming at. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I told you I saw that Fantasy et Moi thing that you
it's the Ritalin Kid OG. That's what the show's called tonight.
The Ritalin Kid OG. I didn't even know Ritalin was around in the late 70s.
Yep.
I mean, I remember when like Dexedrine, that was around in like the 80s, 90s, the early 2000s, then and this is when I was still using Adderall hit the scene. And you know what the fucked up thing is? Adderall is a much cleaner and better high than meth. How fucked is that?
Mad, eh?
I don't know. Yeah, it's mad. It's crazy that a. Did you hear what I just told Steven?
Yeah, I did. I
That's scary stuff.
Can you like a prescribed medication is a better high than crystal meth? And think of how many kids are on, like so and so's having trouble paying attention. Drug them. They're not doing pills. They're not doctor. No. Why can't you just? I am so glad that my parents didn't, because I was a classic case of all over the place, brain 1,000 miles an hour all the time.
Yeah.
And they tried to med me, and I was like, no, thank you. And then, got about 15 years old, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna self-medicate and see how long we can keep this ship going. And the ship sailed for about 15 years, and then after the second almost dying OD, that was it. And clean for actually 20 years next month, actually. Wow. It feels like a whole life. It feels like another life.
An amazing thing where Mark Lanigan said that, and that's another artist, Nick, I'm near complete, but I need complete.
What are you missing by Screaming Trees or Mark?
Yeah, but when he died, I mean, I cried. With Bowie and with Prince.
Yeah, he was a good.
But as he said, it took him, and he died during, during the pandemic. But as he said, he said it took alcohol to save him from heroin.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's so true. I mean, like if your dope dealer, wasn't around, then you'd go to someone else and get speed just to, keep it's such a vicious circle, and it feels like another lifetime that I'm very glad is over. But then again, I don't think, life happens for a reason, and it happens the way it does for a reason.
Yep.
And
my inebriation has been quite moderate by comparison. I used to write in cafe bars a lot before I had a computer of my own. So this would be from about 1996 up till about 2002.
Yeah.
So what I would do there is as soon as I split university, I would hit this cafe bar. It's usually the one in Charlton, which is South Manchester, and I would park myself. And the staff all knew me, so sometimes I'd get free cappuccinos while I was there writing away for hours. But I would mix it. So I was addicted to the caffeine in cappuccinos.
Yeah.
But I'd also mix it with a pint of lager. I don't mean mix as in mix a drink.
Right.
Alternate. So I'd have 1 or 2 pints of lager, just enough to get me up there with a buzz. So that would help the writing. But I knew that if I went beyond that, it would screw up the writing. It would screw up my thinking.
Yeah.
So what you do then, once you're on, say, your 3rd pint of lager, and you realize you're tipping over the balance, you get a few cappuccinos fast in serial succession, and it just sort of lowers. So you're back at that late again. So the trick is to keep on that level where you've got that buzz going.
Oh yeah.
By mixing.
You get good at it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You get really good at it.
Yeah, especially when they're giving you stuff for free, you get excellent at it.
Right. And I mean that's kind of like the lowest form of speedball, kind of. Like,
right. Yeah.
It's not like you're shooting dope and coke. You're just kind of. It's stimulant.
Yeah. No one speaks about Belushi. Sort of. When you think about how he died. What a genius he was.
All the Blues Brothers records, and what I found in one of them that was kind of creepy was somebody had cut out like all the obituaries and all the articles about Belushi when he died. There must be like a dozen newspaper things in this record, and like I read them. I put on the blues, put them on and read the, because you're automatically back to, the reaction of people when he first passed away.
Well, what a genius! What an absolute genius actor!
Brilliant. Him and like Chris Farley, and Hollywood is so evil that they don't. It's about money, not people.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Well, you spoke about the celebrities and the billionaires. Look at how the world has turned out to be.
There you go.
There's no left, there's no right. It's all just a bunch of controlling.
Well, it seemed like what used to be the left is now the right, and vice versa. Like
the Who,
the
Who won't get fooled again. The parting on the left is now the parting on the right.
Yeah.
Won't get fooled again.
You gotta write shit down. Like, I hope you write down all these little things that you like. I used to keep a little recorder with me, and if I had like a song idea or something, I'd take it out. Especially when you're driving, that's when it hits, and you can't write while you're driving. So I'd pull this thing out, and then and you and you record into it, and
I tend to write. I tend to write down what other writers say. So when I was reading about Joe Meek today in the back garden, what I normally do is I make little notes as I go along. Like, you won't be able to read any of that, but it's just handwritten notes.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
So I carry these around with two or three fountain pens in my bag daily. Little journal, and this one's quite interesting because I went through it with 4D, but because it's got the dotted paper, which is not square or lined. It's what Winston Churchill used.
There you go.
It's just blank.
No, there's dots.
What? I can't see the dots.
Yeah, it's the lighting's bad.
I know what you're talking about, though. Now that you say it, yeah.
But I carry this, and then I'll decide, which fountain pens I want to take for the day.
See, my pornography is schematics.
But Nick, you need like an architect's pencil. You need a book.
I have a book with tons.
Architects need a pen.
Here's a pile I have to go through of here's how to rewire a tone arm. Here's the parts for the DOD 250 pedal. The bomb for an EAR 834P Phonopre. Oh, speaking of Phonopre, Steven. So I found.
I'll show you something quickly,
dude.
Wait, hang on. Wait a sec. Because it's not connected yet. Just wait. Oh no.
How long do you think we gotta wait for?
Just wait.
Should we go? Let's go to the pub real quick.
Well,
I'm talking.
Well,
what is that?
Well, so this is it turns out this article that I read in the back garden about Joe Meek, it's actually well written, and usually I have trouble reading because I'm correcting the writing as I'm reading, but with this one, this guy was good enough. So the bit I wrote down that I really liked was, this is what he says. It's only maybe 2 sentences. There's a school of thought that the Beatles invented the future with Tomorrow Never Knows. Joe Meek was already light years away while the Fab Four were still thinking about asking George Martin if it was okay to turn it up a bit. I thought that's really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
So I wrote that down. That's the kind of notes I make on other people.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great quote.
Yeah.
What do you got there, Steven? Oh, that's a real deal one. Here is I'm this is either the fourth or fifth one that I've built, and I need to I just need to the power supply finally finished. I need to order a transformer, and I'm not putting like the input of this is not 47K like all carts are, because a lot of carts, like, they're not all happy at 47K. Like, some of them are happier at 30 something, or oh, look, it's even got the MC step up transfer. Is that the oh no, that's a toroid.
No, that's got the MC. It's got MC.
Right, I was looking at the toroid, and so
but I mean, I never use the MC on this. I run separate steps.
Okay. Well, a step-up transformer usually sounds better than
no, there's one built. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I've got two vintage ones.
What do you have for SUTs?
Sorry?
What do you have for SUTs?
Oh, I can show you.
There's this really awesome designer, audio designer. His name is Jim Hagerman, and I learned about him through my buddy Janos. And this Hagerman dude designed some phono preamps, and he has a head amp, which is a step up, but it doesn't use a transformer to step it up. It's a trans impedance one, instead of which they sound cleaner, but if you find the right step up transformer, it adds a certain color that I like.
I've got lucky with my Denon and my Shelter.
What do you got?
This is vintage. This is a Fidelity Research.
Oh, you son of a bitch. That's awesome. Yeah, man.
Passive, weighs a ton.
Stuff.
What does it do? Is it a doorstop? What does it do?
No, I've used them as doorstops. Yeah, you can.
It takes a
No, and this baby slayed me, and I tried it instead of something else that I had, which was sort of battery operated. But this is made of Audio Technica, but it's a Signet.
Oh, Signet. Well, that was Audio Technica's high-end line for a while.
That's another SUT, baby, magnet.
Oh, that's cool. It has that's what AT did. They yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah. I like that design.
I think it's brilliant. You can just mount it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it weighs half of what this weighs, and I've tried and I've swapped them between both cards. So
right.
I've got, for me, it's the flavor. One week I might decide to use the Denon with this, and then the Shelter with this.
Yeah. I've been going between my 103 and my Nagaoka. The MP.
Oh, those Nagaokas are killer. I mean, that's
they're awesome. And you know what? I've tried the 110 and the 500.
The 200 is the sweet spot.
The 200 is the one. And
told my brother that, and it's what he's got.
Dude, boron cantilever, the elliptical stuff. It is, and because it's a moving iron, it's not sensitive to capacitance, which makes it much more easy to load. And 4D, so that you're not totally out of the loop. So
you do know. You remember, Nick? I flunked electronics in 1975 and got demoted. You remember that?
Right.
I couldn't even hack it when they put me in a 19th century textile mill with a big chimney. I still couldn't fucking hack it.
People
you sing this
people
now.
Don't know what a
one turntable.
Son of a bitch you are, either, man. Oh, is that
this
a
is,
gel?
This is
the
box on my
that's
one
a micro.
Ooh.
A micro arm, micro Seki. Beautiful.
Japan only model from the late 60s.
Wow.
I've got a tone arm right here. This is one I need to install on my I'm redoing my main turntable, which is it's a Technics, or it was a Technics, but I've fucked with it so much that there's the tone arm, brand new tone arm. And I bought this right before they stopped making them in 2010. Remember, in 2010 to 2015, they stopped making the S1200s. People freaked the fuck out because you can't stop making that turntable. And I got this for I want to say it was like $100 or something, and it doesn't have the bass and everything. The bass is fine on mine, but the outrage that came from especially like the DJ community, who like before 1200s they used to use like Torrens and like really interesting turntable. What is that? What is that?
I'm just taking a photo for my brother. He actually wants to he's interested in this stuff. He's never watched this. I'm trying to see where he can
Stefan, I am building. I found this guy who has now. Normally, you're not supposed to be able to buy just the PCBs for the Audio Note kits. You're supposed to have to buy the entire kit. I found a guy. I don't know. It must have fallen off a truck or something.
What is that?
Dude has a whole bunch of these, and I grabbed one of these and the power supply. And this is actually a regulated power supply.
For what?
For this is an Audio Note phono preamp. And,
well, I've got the Audio Note sitting here as well. Hey.
Yeah.
I've got the M2 phono.
This might be. Hold on. This is the
this we've got to get somebody to come in and move the turntable here eventually with all of what's gone on. But I can actually literally I can pick up the amp now and actually show it to you, but it's quite weighty.
Oh, this is the L3 phono V1.5.
Was that part of the when the kits were still done?
Yes, this is supposed to, like, they still sell the kits.
Yeah, but there was a bit of a split with Peter Kuzrup and
right. Peter decided he didn't want the.
Yeah, he's a strange, interesting character though.
Right, nice but stuff. I think I probably would have done the same thing. I mean, it's kind of people get Audio Note kits mixed up with Audio Note, and if you hear a real Audio Note like an Angaku in a full Audio Note system, dude, that fucking ruined me.
I've heard it.
Absolutely ruined me. I've never heard it sound that good again.
I've heard it, and I had an Audio Note power amp that blew old, but then I got these monoblocks, which are built. They're single-ended, and they're monos now. They're 5 watts each.
Which are they? Audio Note?
No. They were made by somebody, but they are point to point.
What kind of what are the power tubes?
They've got an Easy 10, a 10 EZ. They've got one EL84, and they've got
what an EL30, an EL84 is a power tube.
Yeah.
An EZ81 is a rectifier tube.
Yeah. I've got the tubes here. I just don't want to open.
No, don't worry about it. I'm just.
But
I mean, it's cool that you've got monoblocks.
Oh, they're monoblocks, and then I've also got what's it? Another kind of American Jap kit. I've got another phone of tube preamp here as well, plus the mixer. There's a lot of tubes here. I mean,
dude,
you're getting to the styler as well. For me,
thousands of tubes.
The Audio Note. I've got the Audio Note moving magnet, but that IQ series, which is based on the Denon 104. Not the Denon, the Goldring or 104.2s, but that's Geiger.
Yeah.
That for me, that is as good. And I've heard the Nagaoka. There's a sweet spot in that for a moving.
That's why I bought the Goldring in it.
Now, the Audio Note version is something else.
What's that?
I've got the Audio Note version, the IQ series.
By the Goldring is the OEM.
Yes, but Audio Note then modded it.
Right.
It's like the guys at Zoo mod the Denons.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
My Denon is modded. Mine's cracked open. It was done by Simone Michetti in Italy. Sorry?
Your Denon is?
Yeah, it's an open one. It's got a wooden.
I hear what you're saying. I thought you meant it was like broken. I was like, oh
no, cracked. I mean, the plastic's off. And actually,
my 103 it's on its last leg, dude. And I'm,
do yourself a favor. Just send it.
I'm sending it to Joseph.
Get it retipped.
That's what I'm going to my guy who retips many of my cartridges, and I'm having him put a boron cantilever, and I don't want a micro ridge. I want like a how the Fritz Geiger, they're not micro line, but they're like hyper elliptical. That's exactly what's in the Audio Note.
Yes, the Geiger is the sweet spot.
Now I preferred the 1042 was a bit much for me, but the 1022 and the 1012, I mean the 1012 I believe is just a nude elliptical, and the 1022 is where you, I mean, there's not much of a difference between the 1022 and the 42. And with the 42 or any of these Goldring cards, that's the only cartridge that I had heard, like MM or MI, that that competed with Nagaoka.
Look, Nagaoka is it's iconic.
It really is. It's amazing. Yeah. And dude, it's that people think, oh, you want the 500, the fine lines. No,
the 200 is the sweet spot.
It totally is.
All I heard from that was that the Geiger is the G spot. That's the most conversation.
The 40 the Geiger is the G spot, I suppose.
Right.
You know what? That reminds me of I have a Dead Kennedys record with they
remember I showed you a wallet from Cambodia earlier, Nick.
Yeah, you showed that.
Which Dead Kennedys track is it? I might have it on a single.
It's an album called Frankenchrist, and it has these Aleppo like Shriners driving little cars on the front. Right. The original cover was supposed to be this H.R. Geiger picture called Penis Landscape.
Okay.
And you can imagine Geiger, drawing a bunch of hard-ons, like, it's like like space hard-ons, and it got shut down, but the poster inside of it, it opens up to like twice, not once but twice, so it's big.
So it's like an upmarket Robert Crumb.
Yes,
Crumb is an amazing artist.
Nice, good parallel.
I found also a couple of my other beat books that were stored at somebody else's house.
Oh yeah.
In all of this, so I've now got a nice little shelf now. I've got like Dylan next to Marx, next to like Kerouac, next to the Beats, next to some books on classical music, next to a book on Auschwitz, next to Shakespeare, and I've got a thesaurus here, Canterbury Tales.
You need those artifacts. You need those artifacts in your life. Those are touchstones to meaning. Those artifacts.
Absolutely.
But because you're talking about electronics, I wanted to run one sentence by you to see whether. So
next the electronics.
Right. So it's from this magazine that I've already shown you about theremins. Yeah. And I know what aerial ones are in this sentence that I'm going to read you. I know the aerial ones are those the volume and the pitch, the two rods. That's what aerial ones are.
I didn't know that. I don't know what they're called.
Okay, well
so
that's what
you just learned to me.
Okay, so that's what this writer calls them. It's aerial wands. But his simple sentence is, the player's body acts as a capacitor between the two wands. Would that be a correct analogy?
Yes, because a
capacitors.
Capacitor does is what's the easiest way to explain this?
Well, in a tube amp, it can shock the shit out of you.
Oh yeah, well yeah. if you don't put a bleeder resistor on it, like so, yeah. So, and I've gotten hit with like 600-700 volts. It only takes one, and I never again. Even talking about it, my hand starts to go in my back pocket, because when I'm poking around in an amp, I use a chopstick or a pencil, because the pencil, the eraser on it, if you turn on the amp and if there's like a bad solder joint, the give of the eraser can kind of push down on the resistor, and if there's a cold solder joint, it'll But I'm sorry, 40. So you were talking the A1?
Well, what I was saying. So what this writer is saying is that when a theremin player, that their body acts as a capacitor between the two rods of the theremin.
Yeah. It is. A capacitor is an energy.
40, don't tell me you're smoking incense now, by the way.
Well, kind of.
It in your hand.
I'm passive inhaling it at least. So let's get to the bottom of this capacitor business.
Well, a capacitor is basically to make it easy, it's like a battery that holds a charge and dissipates it pretty quickly when it's in a power supply.
So what does it lower the voltage of something then?
No, it doesn't lower the voltage. It how do I?
Talk also about a regulator and also like resistors. I mean, it's just so.
Well, a resistor does exactly what it says. It resists the flow of electricity. So
Zeb's, yeah.
And a capacitor lets through the nice Zeb. How are you, dude? I haven't seen you in a while. So a capacitor lets like AC and D. I'm gonna rewind. Okay, so out of your. I'm gonna make this as easy as possible. I'm trying.
I'm feeling like I'm feeling like it's 1975 all over again.
This must be a bit different from your last 2 weeks. Your last 2 weeks on Rachel as well.
So
I think you've still got a couple of early trolls that are following you.
Out of your wall, the AC, the outlet out of your wall, that is alternating current, AC.
Alternating
and
air conditioning.
And when it's air conditioning. And so alternating current, which was Tesla's idea, by the way. Tesla, brilliant. Edison, charlatan.
Oh, interesting.
He's a fake. He's a liar. He's a thief.
I know the director Jim Jarmusch loves Tesla, loves the legends of Tesla. So that's good enough for me. If Jim Jarmusch likes him, he must be good.
He's brilliant.
What the fuck he's got to do with capacitors? I don't know.
So the AC comes out of your wall, and it goes into a transformer, and the transformer either steps up or steps down the voltage.
Right.
Now, out of the wall here, it's about 120 volts AC. Where you are, it's 240, I believe.
Right. For us, it's 230. They're between 230 and 240.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So the AC comes out and it goes into a transformer, and the transformer, again, it either brings the voltage down or raises it up. So you can, let's leave it at there. From there, it goes to something called the rectifier, which can either be done by a vacuum tube or a solid state device called a diode. Now, a diode is it looks kind of like a resistor. It only lets electricity go in one way. It can't go back the other way.
Okay.
So by putting it through the diodes or the tube rectifier, because it has now been rectified, it is no longer alternating current. The current is going, it is now direct current because it has only one way to go.
Right.
So from there, it needs to be smoothed out. And what you do to smooth and build a good power supply is really difficult to
Nick, I just pulled out this little inverter, but you may as well talk about sine wave. My tech told me that I took my Garrett turntable and I ran the entire system off the grid, but just took the turntable and put it separately onto the inverter, which is sine wave.
Mm-hmm.
I would hear something different, and I did.
Wait, what? You heard something different through the sine wave? A sine wave just...
Yeah, but pure sine wave. I mean, you get dirty power. So if you're running a battery...
Dirty power is a problem.
Yeah, he said, just run your system off the electricity, but take your Garrett and put it into the inverter, right? Which is off, like running it off a battery. It runs 220 volts.
Yeah.
Okay. And remember, because the stylus and everything, and all that ground is being picked up through the loops and everything else.
Right.
So when I took that turntable and I put it into the inverter, and the inverter was not plugged in to the grid. Okay. There was far less ground loop, hum, etc., feedback, whatever you want to say.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense.
I mean, I'm assuming that you guys are fans of the Bill Murray film Groundhog Day. You remember that film?
I saw it years back. Yeah, I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
Okay. So the body of the theremin player acts as a capacitor between those two areas of the theremin.
Right. I was getting to the capacitor.
Well, I'd like to get where does the loop come from the theremin?
All I just did is rewound the conversation from 10 minutes ago, like they're doing Groundhog Day.
I was trying
to get a fucking answer about what a capacitor is.
Okay. Well, I figured if I explained exactly how it gets to the point of a capacitor, you're going to understand what it does more. So the capacitor it's an energy storage device. Now, electrolytics like these can hold their like this, I believe, is a 450 volts.
Are those German or Japanese?
These are Nichicon.
Nichicon, yeah.
Okay. And are they capacitors that you're showing me now?
These are capacitors. Yeah, okay. All the tube things. These are those are diodes, and those are resistors.
Those caps with some tube stuff. I mean, they can shock the shit out.
These are all Nichicon, and I actually you'll appreciate this, Stefan. Instead of a regular bridge rectifier, I got one that has Schottky diodes on it instead.
Nice.
How nerdy is that? Okay, so the capacitor in the power supply it's constantly taking the power and throwing it out. You know, picking it up, throwing it out, picking it up, throwing it out. And these can actually hold a charge for like months unless you put a bleeder resistor on them, which is, if you put a bleeder resistor, just if you put it to ground, which is just the earth, you know, ground, literally ground. There's chassis ground and there's earth ground. Doesn't matter in this case though. So the bleeder resistor will take the extra voltage that's left in the capacitor and bleed it off to ground, so it's not a hazard to, because I mean 500 volts that can kill you.
No, that's what I'm saying, because most people, I've never heard of anybody here saying to me, like, when they're doing, you know, fixing things or whatever, you know, put a bleeder resistor inside.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're probably more common now than they weren't used in like the 60s, 70s, even the 80s. I don't think I mean, you remember like
audio note stuff is based on old technology. You ain't gonna get no bleeders there.
Oh, right. I mean, the thing is, like, audio technology has not changed in 40, 50, 60 years. It's still Class A. That sounds the best. Class AB. What am I missing? Class A, Class AB, Class D. There's like Class
D must run away.
What's that?
I don't like Class D.
Oh, I don't either. I don't like Class D either. Yeah, I prefer Class A. Now, Class A, you'll think you might find this interesting.
It uses a lot of electricity.
4D. So, do you understand a capacitor? So your body is taking because you're by putting your hand closer to one of the bars, it's getting louder, and one of them is controlling the pitch. So
confusing the shit out of him, Nick. You flanked electronics.
Let me write a paper on it, and I'll put it'll be on your desk in the morning.
So just to move the conversation along from that, then.
You mean what you want to say is I'm fucking sick of talking about this. So, shut your mouth and talk. Yeah,
so
what?
I'm gonna let you change. I'm gonna go and have a cigarette break. I'm gonna let you change the topic.
Okay, so
Mr. 4D.
Right, so just changing the subject then. The body of the theremin player acts as a capacitor between the two aerials. Right, that's what he's saying. The body acts as a capacitor between the two aerials.
And by putting your hand closer and raising the volume, you're raising the capacitance to a degree. And also capacitance, if there's too much capacitance, like on a phono cartridge or something, it sounds sharper. So I wonder if they're talking about like the pitch going up with that. I mean, there's a few different angles you could work with the capacity, your body being a capacitor, in a theremin. But go ahead.
Do you think that sentence is a good analogy, or do you think it's not?
It's a bit ambiguous.
Okay, right.
But I mean,
because if you move your hand away, you can diminish the volume or you can lower the pitch, can't you? It's not just one way.
Right. So I guess.
So I'm not sure that It feels like he's trying to say that the player completes a circuit. So you've got the theremin, the player steps in, completes a circuit, but because he's using the component of a capacitor. I'm just struggling to figure out what he thinks the player is doing in that circuit.
Well, the capacitor, like the closer you get to like even like this capacitor, if the voltage is high enough, you can put like, something like, like half an inch away, it will arc. All electricity wants is the most direct signal to ground, and it finds it the quickest, fastest way to ground. Right. So I guess if you were to hold on to the pitch controller and the volume control on a theremin, you would be a capacitor. You would be in parallel with it. Now, parallel is just right next to each other. Series is, you know that. And so I think the guy might have been writing in a way that maybe like assumed the reader knows more. Like if you don't know what a capacitor is, how are you going to make sense of any of that?
Yeah. I mean, because it's Electronic Sound Magazine, I guess he would assume the readership is above the level of a guy working in a 19th century textile mill. So I'll give him that. But I'm still not sure what the fuck he means really specifically, because I know how a theremin is played. I've seen it being played.
They're fun.
Yeah, but I just can't equate it to the circuitry that he's talking about, because I still don't know what the fuck a capacitor is.
Yeah, here, hold on. I have a bag of capacitors right here. Hold on.
Well, keep showing me them until I understand.
This is your last chance, buddy.
Before I flunk all over again.
Yeah.
That'd be you'd make a great teacher, you would, in my old college.
Yeah.
This is your last fucking chance.
I tried to teach guitar lessons, and if I even though I needed the money so badly at the time, there were a couple of students I just went done and walked out on, because after teaching the same lesson for 7 months in a row, and the parents are just continue to pay you, and they're asking, oh, how is little Timmy's progress, and you got to kind of puff it up, and what you really want to say is, Timmy is a lazy ass fucking piece of shit, and he needed to hit him when he was a kid, because I don't know, but I mean, so the capacitor thing, I mean, I would just look up the definition of a capacitor, and you'll
after all that, just fucking look it up. Just fucking look it up, 4D.
Woody, what's happening in Manchester today, anyway?
You're asking me? I never leave the house. How the hell would I know?
I watched a show on YouTube.
It was Gabby.
They reckon that there's going to be
last time
be a civil war inside the UK right now.
Well, yeah, that is coming. But the last time Manchester was raised in chat while I was on screen, it was Gabby asking me about today's events. This was about 2 weeks ago. Today's events in Manchester. And I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. Gabby knew more about what was going on in Manchester than I did, because I never leave the house.
You knew what was going on with the squirrels, right?
Yeah,
I did.
Me and the squirrels. Yeah, that's all. I just love that after I don't know how long we spent on capacitors, but at the end of it all, Nick says, just fucking look it up.
You started with capacitors in the beginning. We took it into audio.
Just fucking look it up, man.
Nick, actually, just on the side, I started off with fountain pens.
Oh man!
I started off with this fountain pen thing, and what I've realized is, there's people that take their pens and they literally tweak them, like we tweak Starlight or audio.
Yeah.
And they grind their nibs. It's a weird thing to say. They grind their nibs.
I need to smoke some drugs after that shit.
I know. But the interesting thing is, you'll find certain pens, like this old pen that was my late grand's. It's
this is a capacitor,
and it's got feedback. Like a nib will have feedback, so when it could write smoothly with a certain ink or whatever, but it's scratchy, or when you move it, or writing backwards, and they call that feedback.
Right. Well, feedback is a loop of the beginning going into the latter part of something and going,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not explaining feedback. No.
Well, I'm just going to demonstrate something.
We're so close to Ned Ryerson saying, "Watch out for that first step; it's a real doozy."
I'm going to demonstrate something here. This is like a thin little Chinese number, right? And we'll write there, and it's going to be thin and tiny, and it's going to scratch. Okay. And this is called writing backwards.
I am sweating from laughing so hard.
And then we're just going to take a nib that I ground myself of a cheap calligraphy pen. And we're just going to go in this batch.
Jesus.
Just watch this. Same ink.
Can you draw a capacitor?
Ooh. Do you want the aerial view, the side view?
Nah, forget it.
Actually, I can do an aerial view.
Your lighting is a bit dim, Steven. Can you put an extra light on us, something like that? Or is it my? It might be my smoke. Maybe you're illuminated fine.
No, I can see you nice and clearly.
Me? Okay.
Yeah. Can you see me more clearly? I went into the settings and turned the brightness up on.
All I can see of you, Nick, is 2 bullet points where your glasses are, where the light's reflecting off.
Nasty, but
Yeah, get out.
Well, there's the copy of the capacitor.
Oh, there you are. There you go. I can see it now.
Yeah.
Get it.
So what is the circle with the plus sign in it?
He's going to flunk Walt Disney's
you know they've got those little indented grooves on the top. Actually, there should be a little bit of a rubberized thing around the sides. You know, so there's a little rubber sort of thing that comes, or the side that comes over it, and it's got that grey. Looking at a Michicon or a Nishikon or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the top view. Yeah, he actually did do a good job. That's the top view.
That's the side view.
And if you do an under view, you just put the 2 legs, one's positive, one's negative.
I've got to tell you, if I was a PhD candidate in electronics and you 2 guys were my supervisors, I'd be in real fucking trouble around about there.
No, I've got another. I learned later. I didn't. I nearly failed physics in high school.
Yeah, I was no good in high school at physics either. Or anything else.
It does make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Do you know, in my junior year, I suddenly realized, holy shit, what a bunch of racket this whole educational system. And I looked into it and saw how it was designed basically by the Rothschilds and the American, educational system, and how they want to, we think we're free, but no, they have enslaved us for our entire lives. So my senior year of high school, I missed 82 days. I would just show up and go to music classes and then go home. And I missed 82 days and figured out exactly what I had, the bare minimum, just to get a diploma and out of there, because not getting a diploma was not an option. I did not go to graduation. My friends stole my diploma. I don't know where it is. I mean, I have one of my electronics
Well, I was going to ask you, Nick. So if you didn't get it at high school, where did you get your electronic skills from?
You know what? It just started out as a hobbyist thing,
you taught yourself then.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not good with other people showing me shit. Like I've taken maybe 2 guitar lessons in my life, and
right.
I wanted to learn.
You played around the world.
I was never interested in soloing and doing weedle-dee. No, I wanted to be an awesome rhythm guitar player and know all the chord voicings, and that helped me out way more than anything else did. But when I was 19, I started managing this music store, like this local music store, and I was there for about 10 years, and then I started touring with my first band, and and then life's been a whole lot of ups and downs since there.
So you taught yourself electronics, and you taught yourself guitar playing as well.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
that's
cool.
Hey, Nick,
makes...
I've got a good one to tell you about talking about being a musician. When my daughter was playing a guitar yesterday, connected to the amp that I got her, and got the cable. She's sitting there, in that George Harrison pose. And I said, she said, no, well, we went to actually, no, this is earlier today, because Friday. Earlier this evening, because now it's Saturday. Yeah. So she said, no, she managed to carry the little Fender, etc. It's made for kiddos, and it's a good, practice amp. Those little baby Fenders.
Yeah.
So I said, that's why it was small. Because she said she took it to the class, and the teacher was happy. With her playing, etc., etc. And then I said to her, but you've got to understand, I said, you're so good that one day you're just going to realize that, when you get the big stuff, you're going to learn the concept of of having a roadie. And she goes, what's a roadie? Remember that movie Roadie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I sure do. Yeah.
One of the guys, just by the way, we've got a release coming out. That safari suits thing that I did, but that's finally been pressed in Prague by it was Ron, the other guys, but it was pressed by the guy that basically oversees all of the pressings for the Swans.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which is great, yeah. And these guys have also been working with Scott and the guys from Fugazi and all of that. That's my whole thing.
Oh,
and
they're one of my favorite bands.
The States, and I want because we want to get a bit of distro going there. I've put you on the list for one to get to you.
I would love that.
They're only pressing 500.
Yes, yeah. Tell me what I got to do to get it.
Just hang in there. That's why it's been good to chat tonight. But getting back to just the music and the roadie thing and all of that is like, if you think about that ethos of music, and that's why I always go back to bands like Fugazi.
Right.
And when we're talking
DIY ethic.
Oh my God! And the $5 a show, and that is one band.
And they were
that
$5. They were $5
every album
forever.
Yeah, that stuck there for me.
Yep. When I first saw them in 1980, whatever, $5. When I saw them again in 2000 something, $5.
But you listen to Repeater. It is one of the most musically brilliant albums that has ever
really
been made in the history of music.
And do you know the song Reclamation? It's the first song on A Steady Diet of Nothing. When the first Fugazi show I ever saw, Ian came up. I mean, this was like, it was a small club in Boston. And so
I lived in DC for a year.
Close. And Ian came on, and they are so not rock stars, and they were talking to the crowd and seeing how everyone blah blah blah. And Ian said, we're in the process of writing a new album, and we think this is going to be the first song on the album. What do you think of it? And they go into
Hello, Ruthann.
Ruthann.
Our
There's
good friend.
A beauty queen right there. Look at her, even with her.
Yeah, well, actually, that gives me a good reason to change. If I may change the subject.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So apparently the body of the theremin player acts as a capacitor between the two aerial rods. So I'm wondering what a capacitor is.
Capacitor is.
No, your best. You've already had your best. Ruthann, you missed it. Ruthann, Nick just very patiently stayed with me to try and explain what a capacitor is, so I could understand the sentence I just read out. So he gave me an electronic course for about 20 minutes, and at the end of it all,
probably going on 3 hours now.
His final answer was, "Just fucking look it up, man. Just fucking look it up."
So back to Fugazi.
thought.
He gave up on me. I got flunked again after I got flunked in 1975, and Nick just flunked me all over again in 2020.
You don't feel like you learned a little bit of something about how the electricity from your wall goes into your other stuff?
It's A levels versus the O levels. The A levels versus the O levels.
Yeah, well, I've just flunked both as far as what's it.
And you know, those billionaires,
dude,
some of them went to
too
Eton.
smart for that. You don't. No, like what did you?
No,
Who taught you how to write?
I guess like your answer with the guitars and your electronics, Nick. I guess I taught myself, or to be fair,
you talk about Kerouac.
All the writers I admire helped to teach me from as soon as I left school. So from the age of 15 onwards, I kind of taught myself, but only because I was reading writers who were really good, and I was trying to figure out how they did it. So I guess it was a self-taught, but only with the help of published writers.
Okay. Now, so it sounds like you did pretty much the exact same thing. I literally listened to records and learned the songs by playing along with them. So you like read, words, and I like how this, person, the cadence or whatever.
Yeah, it's a very close analogy. So while you were copying the notes on the records that you heard, I went through a phase where I was imitating Vonnegut because I didn't have my own voice.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. I think you have to do that, and I did that too with a guitar player. His name was Nate Albert, and he was the guitar player for this band from Boston called the Mighty Mighty Bosstones.
Amazing band.
And I actually years later, my old band, like we did a lot of shows with the Bosstones because they were just awesome hometown boys. And I got to like have multiple talks with the guy who I would sit on the side. I've seen them well over 100 times, and I would always stand on the side of the stage. Somehow, if you just act like you know what you're doing, they just let you through, and you okay. And I would stand on the side of the stage and watch every little fucking thing he did, where he switched, how he's picking, how his amp is. And I was able to tell him, like, and I said exactly that. I said, I'm not going to try to sugarcoat this or play it down at all. You're the reason why I kept playing guitar and became, a proficient enough to, like, I'm inherently lazy, so it kind of shocks me that I was able to become proficient enough on an instrument to tour the world multiple times. Like for playing my guitar, I would have been doing that anyway.
So Nick, can you remember what age you were when you were not copying, not imitating off the records now, but you were, you found your own style? Can you remember how old you were when that transition happened?
I think that came along pretty immediately. Like if you're hearing these songs and then you're like writing music, like I started a band immediately. And the band that I've only had 2 real bands, and one of them I started when I was maybe 15 in high school. And that band was together for about 8 or 9 years. We put 2 albums out. We have, if I can find the boxes of CDs, I'll send you some.
Okay, cool.
Or I can give you the links for them. They're on YouTube.
Nick, pop me a link also to the files, please.
Okay.
I'm not going to Bluetooth it. I promise you, I'm going to play through wires.
I liken it to, you know, I don't know whether you guys learned to ride a bicycle the same way, but when I don't know how old I was, but my bicycle had what's called stabilizers on it.
Trainer wheels.
Oh, trainer wheels. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and then I can still remember the day when my father took those off and watched from the doorway while I cycled up and down the pavement. Like it was almost like, look, no hands, because there was no stabilizer.
Right.
So I liken that to where you stop copying, when you're learning your craft, and you stop copying off those people who were teaching you, and it's like taking the stabilizers off, and where you're trying to plow your own furrow when you're going forward. It's kind of like that.
I'm going to give you guys something actually very interesting, and this is involving education, and it's happened here in South Africa, but I'm sure it's globally as well. We're seeing, and especially with the politics of the quality of things that are being done and being made.
Ugh.
But we are seeing less and less and less focus on technical education, and more focus on, like, the educated, the lawyers.
Oh yeah, shop classes and
it's
shit
shocking.
like
that. And that's a destruction of a middle class that actually held things together.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing to say, but one of the first things that happened, after 1994 in South Africa, is they got rid of the old technicons and the apprenticeships. So we have a substandard of labor or people to do proper, from plumbing to electrical through to, fixing things.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I forgot to tell you? I didn't really look at it so much as an apprenticeship, because he was a friend of mine anyway. And he's still one of the closest friends of mine ever. His name is Greg. He's the one that that really, like, if I had questions, because with this, like, pre-internet days, like, how the fuck are you gonna find this shit out? You gotta find a good mentor, and he was a fabulous teacher. And I talk to him at least a couple times a week. He's still a wonderful friend.
You guys are all Boston kids, eh?
Yeah.
Great. I've been there. Good city.
Yeah. I like Boston. I mean, I don't think you should hear my mother's side of the family. They sound so Boston. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. They're parking cars.
I've actually got a question to ask.
Harvard Yard. And my dad's side, absolutely not. I mean, my dad's mother came from, like, this kind of, aristocratic type, English family.
I was going to ask about your genealogy. Where did it check back to?
100% Greek. They did everything to get that marriage not to happen, but
that's how the surname got it.
Oh yeah. The Fantasy. It used to have an S on the end of it. It's
okay. So we need to have some Kleftico and some baklava.
Yeah, spanakopita.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of my favorite food.
Yeah.
Now we're talking Mediterranean food, huh? Come on.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it?
Oh God! Now you're making me hungry.
Yeah. You know what? In England, there are like those kebab shops.
That's terrible compared. Yeah. No, it's not the real thing.
Yeah. But
they are when the guys from India who made it are, actually bringing their recipes over. And
we've got a huge Greek community here in we had We've got the Greek club, Greek community in
South Africa?
huge.
If Ruth Ann wants to find the highlight of this live stream, she has to go back. She has to go back now about an hour.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right.
To when Nick started talking about the electricity that comes out of your wall.
Yeah, it is funny.
It goes all the way through, and it finally winds down to, look, just fucking look it up, man. That's a great comedy sketch. That could be on Saturday Night Live. That.
But I tell you,
well,
seriously,
we took the circuitous route there.
Yeah, we did.
You know, I get inspired by it's like, you know, we talk about learning guitar. I'll go to a restaurant, and finally, I'm hopefully going to be having a bit of a better kitchen than the last place. But I'll go to a restaurant, and yeah, I'm quite fussy around certain things, but no spicing or certain ways of doing meat and fish and using fire and you know, cooking. And I just love getting, you know, having traveled the world, you know, just certain nuances and tastes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so if you're going to give me, say, for example, whether it's Palestinian, Israeli, Egyptian type food, all right, and you're going to give me Greek food, there's a difference in the food.
Of course.
They must not serve me tzatziki. They must serve me hummus and tahina.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
For the Greek food, I'm gonna get tzatziki, which is cucumber with yogurt.
Yeah.
You know, and I know the nuances and the differences.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you're
right. People mix it up sometimes in the wrong way. They put it all together. So they'll serve you what's called a shawarma. You know,
I love
gyro.
Love it.
Not a gyro. And they'll give you the shawarma with tzatziki, and it's not true to its origin.
The cucumbers on it with the I like the falafel balls.
My.
So good.
Well, if we're talking cuisine,
yeah.
As an analogy in cooking, where would the capacitor come in?
So listen, we can talk, you know, cooking and safety. You know.
I'll answer that.
Gas versus electricity versus induction versus fire and brimstone.
Well, there are. I mean, a cable has three main things that you measure on it. Is the capacitance, the resistance, and the inductance. And
what's the inductance? Okay, I don't get that.
No, we're not going there.
We're going into the frying pan. Ruthan's putting us into the frying pan.
I can remember the tripler from my television days, which I was always told to be very careful about because that can kill you. But the tripler is the part that you plug into the cathode ray tube. It triples the voltage. 23,000 volts. So I think it takes 7,000 volts or something.
23,000 volts.
Well, I think it's 21. I think it takes 7,000 volts and triples it.
That's 7 kilovolts.
Well, I don't know, but that's all I remember from my television days.
Like, wow.
And so it's this component with a thick lead on one end, and this sort of sucker plug on the other end, and you plug it directly into the cathode ray tube, and that triples the voltage. So I think it was 21,000 volts going into the cathode ray tube. That's the part. That's the part. The only reason they told because I didn't get any training, to be honest. It was all on the shop floor. They never sent me to college. I was supposed to learn it on the fly. But the only thing they really drummed into me was the tripler, because it can kill you if you touch the fucking thing. So they must the foreman and the technician guys must have thought, listen, we've got a right fucking guy on our hands here. We've got to tell him about the tripler, if nothing else.
It's weird. Actually, said there was an LP record, and then I'm going to go back to what I wanted to tell Nick. There was an LP record that was named 21,000 volts. I don't know by which band.
Whoa, what's that?
Yep.
Wait, it was a band called 21,000?
No, the LP was called 21,000 Volts. I'm telling you now.
Was that by Vinnie Vincent?
Nope.
By the way, did you hear Vinnie Vincent? His new album, $2 million. He just needs one person to buy it. And, and it's online too. It's not mixed or mastered, but I'll take that version instead of the 2 mil, you son of a bitch. Like, that is so anti-artist. Like, ugh.
Is he just doing it for a joke though, Nick?
No, this guy's little.
Oh, all right, okay.
SP from Kiss to 10,000 Volts.
This record.
21,000 was by EKBJ Who. Anyway, it's been done.
Yeah, but I wonder why they called it 21,000 volts.
Yeah,
wonder why 21 number. Well, that's the exact amount of voltage that used to go into the television tubes in the old days.
But Nick, getting back to electricity and what I was going to tell you was, that what I love about talking about the electrical plugs, or they go into the socket.
Yeah.
I love those British ones. They've got that have the built-in fuse.
I love those. Yes. I mean, the US needs to follow on.
The world should just it's like USB-C versus this versus that. Just get to one standard.
Right. I use coax going from my to my DAC from my the hell's the thing that spins, not the player, the
transport.
The transport. But my transport and my DAC, which my DAC is a 1990s Adcom, okay?
Oh, they're great.
Dude, I will put that thing up to so many DACs today, and I guarantee you, like, did you see that that thing where they took a poll of people listening to an ARXA turntable? You know what those are?
No, those original, those bouncy little things, the first one.
And the other turntable was a Kronos, okay?
Yeah.
So it's like a $60, $70 turntable versus a $250,000 turntable. Mm-hmm. Dude, more audiophiles chose the AR. And it's like, what is that? What does that say?
I've got my Garrard, I've got my 74 Technics direct drive. The other one's an idler. The only thing that's missing from my system is a Technics.
I love that.
Is a Technics. Just because they are just killers and solid. But I'm happy.
Oh, Techniques. They're
Techniques. Yeah. I mean, before the Garrard was built, I had on loan. I had a Technics SP10.
Dude, that's like a step above the.
Yeah, well, I've got a friend here who's actually trying to sell one. Get it
a separate power supply and shit.
Yeah.
My
Garrard, I mean, I could have a power supply built, but he just said don't. He'd rather.
But dude, there's something about the sound of an idler drive. I don't know what it is. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you know it when you hear
rhythm and timing. It's got so much torque.
Yes, yeah, and it drives the fucking music.
Yes,
and that's why I prefer direct drive. I
won't touch a belt drive myself. I won't touch one.
The only belt drive I have is my mono turntable. I have a dedicated mono. It's a and I thought this was suiting. It's a 70s wooden based Sansui.
Right.
So it's okay. I also have a Yamaha PX2 linear tracking direct drive.
Those are fantastic.
And it needs a little bit of work, but I found it at my local dump along with a Yamaha C4 preamp. This thing has 2 phono stages in it, not an MM or an MC. Either both of them are MM or MC. And the
I know those. I know that they were, back then. It was just
they're amazing.
Those Japanese gave you everything.
And it also had a Nakamichi RX202, maybe. It's one of those ones where the tape comes out, flips around, and goes back. But I found them all at the dump. And dude, I almost shit myself when I saw this pile of this gear sitting in, like, it was in the shed of, that you leave stuff that's not trash but you don't want anymore. Dude, I couldn't, I must have gotten there right after they dropped it off. I mean, I feel so fortunate to have seen it and been there at the right place, right time. That was is
he gone?
Oh, thank God. Now we can really talk about capacitors. So, 4D, did you go to university?
Eventually I did, yeah. Eventually, in my 30s.
Okay, I did too. Okay. Did you get like a master's, bachelor's, a PhD?
Yeah, it's a very strange CV I've got. I got my master's degree before I got my first degree. So that's one strange thing. And then I didn't get my PhD until I was 50 years old. So
wow.
Quite a strange CV I ended up with.
Now, what do you have a PhD in? Literature?
No, that's the hardest one to explain. That my first degree was literature and my master's degree was in education. But my PhD was so interdisciplinary that I usually just say it's film and media studies, but that doesn't cover the half of it. It was all over the place in a lot of different fields, and the psychology stuff was they were
died. Sorry,
they were welcome back, Steven.
It's weird. It just said decided, and I thought that it was StreamYard. But thank God we're still alive. Great.
And the psychology stuff is separate postgrad diplomas in a whole.
I only heard you say so that, and then you cut off.
Yeah, well, what happened was, because I was unqualified till I was 34, I think, something like that, 33. Mm-hmm. I spent the next, I think it was 9 years making up for lost time by doing a lot of different courses all at once in a lot of different colleges and universities, and not telling them that I was doing the other ones, just because it was a crazy schedule for all that time,
right?
And so some of those diplomas were to do with the postgrad diplomas anyway. By the very end of the 1990s, that's when the psychology component started to kick in.
Okay, so so you are you, or how close are you to be able to be a licensed psychologist?
Well, I've been a licensed psychotherapist before.
Okay. I mean, I studied psychology a lot in university and college. It was fascinating to me. Go ahead.
So the reason I went towards a postgrad diploma in psychotherapy is because I was fascinated by the unconscious, but I didn't want to learn only theoretically. I wanted to see its applications. So when you're on the front line as a therapist, you very quickly learn what can be applied and what's so ethereal, what's so theoretical that it doesn't actually matter. So I wanted that grounding. So I was kind of self-taught in psychology, like with all the other subjects, before, all through my 20s and into my early 30s, before I actually took any courses in them. And then I took loads and loads to make up for lost time. Okay. So the first step towards getting anywhere close to psychotherapy is if you do all the counseling courses, so that you have a diploma in counseling. That kind of prepares you to start all over again with psychotherapy, which is more like depth psychology. So I did the both, and then I knew when I started in psychotherapy that I wouldn't last. I just wanted to learn what I could learn, apply it, and give back some of what I took in the scholarship to get that far. But I knew, because of burnout, because of the number of burnouts in psychotherapy, that it wouldn't be good for me. And then the other thing, Nick, about it was that in the 80s, what happened in Britain is we started to import the litigation culture from America, where everybody was suing anybody.
Right. Yeah.
So what that did with psychotherapy is it inhibited the creativity, because everyone wanted to be careful that they couldn't get sued.
Yeah.
So there was no outlet if you had a creative imagination, there was just no outlet left for you. So that was another reason to get out fast. But I didn't leave anybody in the lurch. I sort of fulfilled my obligations, but I knew that wasn't the profession for me, even going in to the profession. But I just wanted to take my study of the unconscious as far as I could, and then bail out. So I'm glad I did it, and it was one of the few decisions I made that was good going in and was good going out.
Now, what was it about psychotherapy that interested you? And have you ever used psychedelics in your life?
Oh no, I haven't. I haven't ever used psychedelics. I've never. I've never had LSD. I've eaten an awful lot of hash cakes and had hash sprinkled on cheese and toast and stuff, and smoked marijuana, but I've never gone any further than that, or really never felt the need to, which is kind of odd, because in other ways
I think you would have wanted to.
Yeah,
part of your brain out.
Yeah, all my weird experiences were stone cold sober.
They were real life.
Yeah, they were. They were real life. So the closest I've ever come to mysticism, I was stone cold.
That's great.
Sober. Yeah.
I'll say there is, and I'm not proud of this, nor am I bragging, but there is, I can't think of a single drug that I have not tried. And maybe 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago, I was at this record shop nearby my house, and the guy had like a turntable, like a listening booth, and I went to put a record on it, and I was like, oh dude, I'm not, this is awful. And I went to the guy who owned it, and I said, can I set up your turntable? And he said, what gives you why do you think? I was like, trust me, please. So I set it up, did the speakers, had them sit in the center. Like, because if you when you set up speakers correctly, the first thing you notice is that phantom center image. That is
the sweet spot.
It sounds like there's a third speaker there, and it's usually the vocal, but there's nothing there, and that's where the sound stage and everything starts. Like, it can get creepy when there's when you can hear stuff behind you, but I love it.
Right.
And so anyway, there was this dude in the shop who saw me set up the turntable and the speakers. And I mean, dude, this might have taken 5-10 minutes. It was like balanced, you know. And this dude said, "Hey, I live like less than 5 minutes down the street. Do you would you please come and do what you just did here to my system?" I was like, okay, fine. So we go to his place, and I'm thinking, okay, no one's gonna find my body. They'll just find like maybe a tooth somewhere, you know. But the dude, like when I was setting it up, he offered me. He said, "Do you want a beer or anything?" I said, "No, I'm not really a drinker." And he said, "There any drugs that you want?" And I went, "Huh?" It's like, well, okay, now you've kind of piqued my interest. Like, by drugs, what do you mean? He said, "You name it." And I was like, okay, this guy deals in everything. So he gave me a little goodie bag, and I had taken like I don't know, some kind of opiate and a Valium or something. And so I was feeling nice and chill and relaxed. And he said, "Have you ever tried DMT?" I said, "No," and this is before everyone started here, you know, talking about it. And you know, like LSD and psilocybin, you're still somewhat rooted in this world, and you still know that you're here. But DMT, and I wouldn't have tried it unless I was so relaxed from the other drugs that were in my system.
Oh
So
my God.
he said, "Okay, I'm gonna light it for you. You're just gonna have to sit back, because by the time you take the third hit, you'll drop it, because you're gone." And I took the third hit. He said, "Okay, hold it, blow." And dude, it was fucking terrifying at first. It was like being in a rocket, like going into some place you've never been. Like this is one reality. This was a completely separate reality than this one. And it still plays tricks with my head. I still don't get it, and I want to understand it, but it was such like, I didn't know if I had been there for 2 years, 2 minutes, and I guess I had only been under for maybe 10 minutes at most. Dude, it was the most intense situation I've ever come out of.
Right. So what?
And I guarantee, if I hadn't have been relaxed already, I would have lost my mind.
So when you say it was a completely different reality, so you mean like the sense of time is totally different. So that's
it doesn't exist.
So it's
right.
Mean,
it's all the brain, psychology, and chemistry.
Right. So let's try and narrow it down then. So can you think of anything else that was different in that?
Well, there was like, once you, I guess, blasted off. Once you got there was this overwhelming feeling of like a matriarchal type figure, and I kind of saw her like morph out of the wall. And like, you know, on LSD, like I could be looking at my closet and see, you know, something coming out of the closet. I'm like, well, I know that that's LSD. This was real. This was not just a hallucination. This was, because everyone has extremely similar experiences as I did. And So there was like this matriarchal type of figure, and she, kind of came out, and she, like, everything was telepathic. So nothing was said. And I just remember she tried to put me at ease, but while she's trying to put me at ease, there are these little, like, they're all like leprechauns or something, like running around me, like, and like jumping off the wall. It's like this is like, I forgot about this world. Like, I could have been there for the rest of eternity, and
right, but
that would have.
Right, but so if it isn't illusion, then if it isn't just a vision thing, if it's something that's real, then who was she? Who was the woman that came out of the wall?
I don't know.
And how many volts? Was it 240?
Where's the capacitor?
Yeah. But so you must ask yourself that question then, Nick. Once you've decided, when you've come down, you're back here, and you say, like you just said now, but it wasn't hallucination. It was something. It was real. It was a reality that we don't normally experience. So once you say that, you've got to ask yourself, well, who was that figure then? If that's a real figure.
And I've asked myself that a million times. I've watched so many people describe the same experience. Some people have gone there too much, and they've gotten kicked out of DMT land or whatever the hell it is. And they're not allowed back. So when they smoke it, nothing. They're not allowed into
Nick,
that.
Can you imagine
realm.
what went through Mark Lanigan's head?
Now, the only thing I can think of is it the fact that it had like a loving type of feeling to it. Like she was projecting love, where all these little things around me were just like these mischievous little 3-year-olds driving me insane. And it's like, I don't know if they're like, if they were testing you, or like, I still don't know to this day. I haven't, because I've thought about it so long and hard that I feel like I'm going nuts, and I have to stop.
I wonder. So I wonder if one part of what you experienced was symbolism. So I'm not saying an illusion. So I'm taking you at your word and saying that it was reality that you experienced, but the way that reality reaches us might sometimes be symbolic. So you've described this presence as a woman, which automatically makes a kind of humanoid because of your figures of speech.
Oh, it was definitely humanoid, and
right. But what I'm suggesting, Nick, is that the humanoid figure might be symbolic, and that it's not a humanoid figure, but that's the way that you can relate to the presence, and it was the presence that could be real. But it's like, how can you? Point. So, like, how can you manifest it though, so that you can relate to it? So I'm thinking of that. And when you say about these 3-year-old tearaways around you, I'm thinking, well, is that just part of Nick? The part of Nick that gets distracted, and that perhaps prevents Nick from getting closer to this figure.
You know what?
You know what I mean, Nick?
The thing,
what I'm saying.
I've heard a million other people that have had like the exact same experience, or so similar to that.
Right.
But I wonder, now that you're saying that, if it's just the human condition trying to make sense.
Well, but Jung called it the collective unconscious, so that we all have a similar symbology. So if we're trying to translate something spiritual, we'll probably reach for the same anchors. So those are the people that you mentioned who have exactly the same experience, because of the collective unconscious, they may be drawing on the same symbols to try and make sense of this reality that can blow your mind otherwise. You're trying to come to terms with it. So I'm partly drawing on Jung, and I'm partly drawing on psychoanalysis to explain all those little figures around you, thinking, oh, I wonder if that's part of
I'm
Nick.
Take it back, yeah.
I wonder if that's part of Nick that is distracting in everyday life, that prevents Nick from getting any closer to this figurehead that's the source of it all.
Well,
I'm going to take it back to the Beatles, gents.
I'm a Christian, and I'm very newly a Christian, maybe about a year and a half ago. I was just at such a low point, and I literally got down on my knees crying, God, please, if there's one time I need you to come through, it is now. It's hard to.
Oh no, Nick, I hear you.
Take your time, man.
It was the most. Damn. I'm gonna write it out in the private chat. It was the biggest. It was the warmest, most loving, calmest, amazing feeling I have ever had. Better than any kind of shooting dope, shooting any sex, what shooting dope while having sex. This was like on a whole other level, and I couldn't deny that. I like, because there's certain, and I'm sure we've all had many experiences that mold us into the people who we are. Right. And I after that experience, I said, okay, well, I have had a lot of really crazy kind of I guess, what's the like ghosts, not, or like
mystical,
yeah, just mystical, or yeah, just I have had so many experiences with that are that are not of this world, like, right. I feel like I've got, there's a spirit world. I am sure of this,
right?
And the spirit world versus our world is it is paper thin in between the two, and sometimes we get little glimpses of the spirit world, and this is all like what I've gotten from just praying and just meditating on, and like, these are not like things I looked up or thought, like, these are like my Bible right here, and
right.
Life has also, and it's not like, I'm not some stick in the mud, now that I'm a Christian, but I know that people often look at Christians as like that. Think of, there are no other religions that are attacked as viciously as Christianity. I wonder why. Like, I'm not looking for that answer, but it hit me. It was an experience. I cannot deny it. And, it's just one of those things, as I said, that, molds who you are, who Stefan is, who Gary is, and
we're all on the same page,
and
it's
awesome.
All on the same page, I think.
So that experience you had 1.5 years ago, which altered your perception of what reality is, and also what reality is in relation to your relation to reality.
Yes.
Is that? Do you feel that as a connection to the other experience you were talking about when you were doing the DMT?
No.
Separate. They're not connected.
No.
So, no. Right. But then I'm bound to ask you, Nick, the experience you had with the DMT thing, was that not a reality then, as opposed to an illusionary thing?
Well, I think even though it had a lovingness to it, there was also like a sense of shit could go down real quick, real bad, real here.
Okay, right.
And that that's the difference between my relationship with God and
right, but
DMT, whatever.
Right, but if I understand you correctly, with the DMT experience, what you mean when shit could go down real bad, what you mean is that you could lose your mind if you make a wrong step. Is that what you mean?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Right. But okay. So that doesn't necessarily rule it out as a reality. It just makes it precarious that it might be too much reality for you to handle in that time. So your head fucking explodes. Whereas the experience you had 1.5 years ago didn't have those hazards, so you were able to engage with that reality without the fear of so they could in fact both be related. It's just that your experience is different because it was hazardous with the DMT, because you might be because you might be in too deep in a way that you might lose your mind, whereas the second time around 1.5 years ago, different environment, different atmosphere. And also,
I've got so much respect.
That's
when I hear what you're saying.
Thank you. Do you know how many times I've sat here trying to because I've tried to, because those are two big deals that,
of course,
happened, those are things that you never forget. And,
of course, yeah.
And I've tried to make sense of it, and you just pretty much laid it.
Well, it's weird that this show's called the Ripped.
I don't know what else to say.
I mean, where we got to.
I mean, this is.
I'm kind of thinking.
This is why I love you, 40, because you're like, it's. Like when I watching you on Rachel's. Oh my God, I love it so much. No one is like when Brian got up there. I went, oh, poor Brian, Brian.
God,
because I like Brian. I think he's a sweetheart.
He is.
Yeah,
he is.
Although nobody can catch you out.
We all there are people that we dislike. We don't have to love everyone, but treat people with respect until they give you a reason not to. And it seemed like it had come to that kind of point with you and Brian. I mean, I could be wrong, but I didn't.
That whole thing was regrettable, and I think if I had it to do again, I can't take back my anger because I was angry, so that was real. But I think what I if I'd have thought more intelligently about it, because we'd agreed to, Brian had to go to sleep, so we'd agreed to rendezvous back on Rachel's Ghost again.
No, but I mean, I'm just going to add to this. I'm going to say like one thing. It's quite important. Is the way it came back later, because I watched it. Is Rachel pushed it?
No,
Steven. Hear Steven now.
Yeah, Steven. Let me go. Let me take this to its logical conclusion. The mistake I made is that I should have suggested that Brian take it up the second time around when we agreed to rendezvous back on Rachel's Ghost
on his channel.
Yeah, I believe it would have. The reason I believe it would have been.
That's
better,
what I'm saying is it was pushed like a hype sticker.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't pushed. It was my mistake in not reading the road ahead. And I was the guy who was angry, so it was my responsibility. And
no, but you had a right to be.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that if I'd have had a bit more forethought by making it Brian's call to have that argument on Brian's channel, it would make it easier now for Brian to separate out
right
me and my argument from Rachel's Ghost, because now there's a problem with Rachel's Ghost which should not be there, and it would not be there if I'd have had the forethought to say, okay, Brian, we'll rendezvous after you've had some sleep on your channel and we'll have the argument there. So even if the argument went exactly the same way, at least then Brian would be able to compartmentalize it away from Rachel's Ghost. So then he'd be so then Brian would be okay to appear on Rachel's Ghost because he'd separate them out. So the problem now is that I've because it's my, what would you call it, obligation to is to try and help separate out the two things. There's me, and then there's Rachel's Ghost. I'm the guy who had the argument, not Rachel's Ghost. So the only way I figure I can do that is to stay outside of Rachel's Ghost until Brian feels comfortable to go back, to separate out in his mind me.
Yeah.
As a guest.
He's a thinker too. He does,
Yeah.
He harps on things.
Zeb's making some comments.
But I also think he's a he's a sensitive soul. He is.
And so what I want to put right in that whole thing is make it okay for Brian to reappear on Rachel's Ghost, and he's very popular and a lot of people love him, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine if he goes back. It won't be a problem, and it will make it easier for him to do that if I just step back until he does. And once he has done that, then everything will be fine. And if he doesn't do that, then I'm going to have to visit his live stream on his channel to try and.
You know what? I'm going to get back to something that I've been trying to say all along. I was going to show a Beatles album earlier.
I don't hear a word.
The radio show came up about John being a heroin addict and whatever, but that's not important right now. But it's all about this whole thing where people come together as communities. So we've got the so-called vinyl community. Now suddenly everybody's going into CDs or whatever. And then, Nick and I have been on other like audiophile kind of this community or like tribe. Okay. The minute you insular on something, right? You're actually
I'm watching it. I'm making up what he's saying right now.
Yeah. You're fucking yourself. And that's why I jumped out of Rachel for a bit. I jumped into this whole fountain pen thing. That's a way. There are guys there that have got shows that are way. I mean, vinyl community is an inch. Then there's watches and this and that. And one of the guys got into something, and actually I think he's out of Boston as well. Got into something the other day about like people and their hobbies. Okay, and how we kind of like create this insert, like we know everything or we don't, or we compete, or my penis is bigger than yours. It's because it's mostly men. And then when a woman jumps in, it becomes another whole game.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop out and hop back in because.
Okay, Nick.
Yeah. And this is what we need to break. Is we need and 40. This is where you've been actually a crucial person in getting me to think about things. Is when you said like, actually, I had a Lynn whatever, and we started talking about films, and we started talking about books. The last time you and I chatted, or I don't know if we streamed it, maybe we did on fountain pens. Okay, that's an obsession as well.
Yeah, we did stream it. Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, it's like I would like a channel, and I've been wondering what to do with this channel. Not regular, but just that's a catalyst for people to just like be without this competitiveness and this ownership of a knowledge or a hobby or something that they're into, like to hang out, and not with the agenda of like, if we look at shows like all the various people, what the woman that went to Rachel's show, Raging Tomato.
Oh yeah,
that went in and out of there, and this and that, and that's why I've always, and Nick, I mean, I will stick. When George said I'm not part of the vinyl community, when I stuck through that 24-hour, and when he came back, right,
and
I started off earlier when you spoke about your mum at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah,
okay? It reminds me of George as a Prodigy kid.
Oh yeah, he's definitely on a whole other.
Yeah. But George is also he's actually in his own way. He's been through his own shit, and he's humble and he's honest.
Yeah. Yes.
He doesn't play the tricks in the games.
No, he doesn't. And that
I'm not saying Rachel or anybody else. But everybody
for so many years.
I think George for who he is. I think Mazzy, when he comes up and just says what he wants to say on Rachel's show, and the politics or craps on 4D or whatever, because Mazzy's Mazzy. And that's the way he is. And I like people. There's no agenda. It's or he's got his monetization and his business or whatever. But when people start bickering and playing against each other, then I'm like, what is it all about? Because what? We all came together in post-pandemic. Because of the pandemic.
Yeah, I met most of you guys in 2020, or like before Rachel was even. She had
me later.
Stream called the Music Ma'am live stream, and there used to be like 15 of us hung out there, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it is what it is today.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Given that I've just pulled out of a whatever it was 2 or 3 hour flaming argument, I'm not one to be talking about bickering.
You have been a catalyst. You're a catalyst of note.
Well,
you're a catalyst of note. You don't understand what you do.
Anyway. And both you and Brian, you don't raise your voices, so there's an actual it's not just an argument, it's a conversation, because I think
I'm not sure that applies to the last argument, Nick.
Well, okay. Give me a little bit of that one, just a little bit.
All right.
But it's like when I see like physical violence is like, if you're mad at someone, so you punch them in the face, that is like the lowest form of
course
human communication I could ever think of. I mean, I might as well shit in my hand and throw it like it's a monkey, and I've honestly, I've never been in a fist fight in my life, maybe one.
But that's why you can see 2001: A Space Odyssey as a satire.
Oh, now I can't hear. Oh yeah.
You can't hear us, Nick. Oh, Nick's will have to come back in again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
No, he'll come back. What happens is every time you log out, Steven, and come back in, he loses his hearing and he has to log back in himself to get the hearing back.
You can't be going deaf, man. Come on.
No, but it must be affecting his audio reception when you log out and come back in again.
I think so.
I think so. So he'll be back, and then his audio will be okay again.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, so that's all.
Back on the block.
Yeah. So that's all I'm trying to do is make it right by separating out me from the channel that we argued on, to make them a separate thing. And when that's been done, I think it'll be all right again.
You think just wash your hands of it and because I mean, I remember you and Brian were like, I used to like, it was maybe like 5 people there when he would do like morning streams or something.
Yeah.
And I'd be up at 5 a.m. getting ready, and it'd be you and me, and we'd be cracking jokes, and and I was like, geez, where did things go wrong? Like I understand now, but
all I'm concerned about now is to put things right in terms of Brian feeling okay going on Rachel's Ghost when he's
Brian's a talented guy. He's living in a difficult country.
When he's okay about doing that, then I'll be okay.
No, I mean, he still lives. Yeah, it's just the way it is, But everybody's trying to,
I hear what Gary's saying. The if I don't think Brian. I think he should know that he's welcome there. Like, it's not like, I mean, you got to do a lot for Rachel to like ban you, kick you out. Like, she just doesn't do that, and
but it won't just be Rachel, it'll be the entire vibe,
of course,
and all the association.
Well, I mean, Rachel's show's not the biggest show right now. I mean, there's the Patreon, and let's be honest, Loki's not around anymore. It's a whole different ball game. Now this is the 4th incarnation.
No, I think you're probably a bit out of date there, Steven. But the point is that whatever. What do you mean
out of date? What do you mean out of date? Is this the 5th incarnation?
Whatever situation was there during the argument, that whole milieu, the entire thing. That's the point: is to separate out my argument with him from all of that. But because that's the environment that we had the argument in, that's the problem. So that needs separating out, compartmentalizing. So that's
sure, but it's like about free speech in media. Are you going to go on Fox or are you going to go on PBS?
Yeah, no,
where's PBS?
I think you're missing the point, Steven. To be honest,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
No. I'm thinking journalistically. And in terms of platforms and where people are allowed to speak. And it all happened on Rachel's and came back there. I'm not going to back down on this. I'm just saying that, and I respect Brian or whatever, but I just think that there needs to be more neutral platforms for people to be able to engage, because we've all become friends or we've engaged. And
yeah, I don't think it's that. I think it's just about taking responsibility for your own self and what you say, regardless of what platform you're on. So you don't blame it on a platform. You don't blame it on a platform. You put it down to yourself. So what I'm trying to do is separate out the platform from me and my argument.
What I'm saying is,
as soon as if I'm able to do that, then it'll be easy for Brian.
Of course you can do it. But what I'm saying is that there are certain platforms that will hype up. Remember, Rachel would always talk about a barn burners or barns. What did she call it?
Yeah, barn burner.
Right. That's what drives that channel.
Well,
and
no,
I'm
just saying it goes hand in hand with free speech. And what you find is a lot of other channels will censor that so that it doesn't get to that stage. But if you really allow free speech, which also means some anarchy, then it will get you will get some.
So when you, my words there, yes, you are right.
So when you allow that level of free speech and anarchy, sooner or later somebody like me will come around who's angry and vents like that. So me being angry has got nothing to do with Rachel or anybody else putting me there. It's me. It's my anger. So I take responsibility for it. It wouldn't matter what platform it's on. It's still my anger, and it won't be for me to put it onto any host of any platform. It's me and my stuff. So that's really all I'm trying to.
No, absolutely.
That's let me finish, Steven. That's really all I'm trying to do by backing off of Rachel's for a bit, is so that if it helps Brian to see that it is me and my anger and it's nothing to do with the platform, and once he's got that clear in his head, then I think it'll be easier for him to go back on Rachel's. And when he's back on Rachel's and he's comfortable there, then I'll be happy. But that's why I'm backing off. It's actually a way to try and point out it was my anger, and nothing to do with the platform in that sense. It was my stuff, my baggage. So I just need to get Brian to compartmentalize that.
Oh, 40.
I mean, that's
well loved.
Big of you or mature of you to even think to know that, because most people love to blame it on someone else when it's very easy just to say, yeah, I kind of regret I said a stupid thing. Like I didn't hear all of it, so I don't know what you necessarily said, but I just knew there was a gripe between you guys, and I understand what you're saying, and I think it's a good thing, man.
Yeah, it'll work out. I think he'll be. Well, I would hope he'd be back within, say, I don't know, 2 weeks, and then it'll be blown over with regards to the Brian and the show. I mean, so that's the main thing.
No,
yeah. Time will heal that one, I think.
I guess.
This has been a beautiful, actually, also for me to actually understand. Where you and again, I mean, I love Rachel. I spent a bit of time on the show. I'm not there. I'm in the so-called peanut gallery. Although I'm a bit better than a peanut. I refer to myself as a Mozambican, peri style cashew nut or a walnut or a hazelnut or something that's much better. A pistachio. Something that's a bit. I'm not a peanut. Secondly, we also love Brian.
You're macadamia.
Macadamias are great. Yeah, exactly.
They are good.
I love nuts, by the way. I don't. Yeah. And I'm going to end the stream now, but I want to just hit the back end of the two of you guys, if that's okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So I just want to thank. There's been a couple of people. This has been a long stream.
Is Ruth Ann still there? Is Ruth Ann still in the chat?
Yeah, she said she loves you.
Love you, Ruth Ann.
Bless your heart, Ruth Ann. Bless your heart.
All right, so I'm going to end the stream. I want to thank everybody who's been engaged. Guys, just stay in the back end. I just want to just finish up, but this has been absolutely brilliant. Thank you all.
This is a great
everybody
talk.
have a wonderful weekend.
Ruth Ann, you've got to wind back to when Nick starts to explain to me what a capacitor is and follow it all the way through to get that punchline when Nick finally gives up the ghost.
Peace out, everyone.
Just look it up, man. Just fucking look it up in the book.
We're gonna say
I'm glad you got such a kick out of that, dude.
Are we off? Is it off?
I don't know.
It doesn't. No, it's still going. It's live.
No, but I think it's off YouTube. Let me just check because
it says live 307 14 15.
Oh, wait, I'm just going to go onto YouTube and just see if it's still there.
Oh, okay.
Remember that StreamYard actually worked best for me tonight. I've never actually had it so flawlessly.
Yeah, I mean, besides the few,
no, my net went down,
but the internet.
We're still there, so we might as well sing.
Well,
your sleepy head. Put on some clothes.
I might just decide to quietly have a cigarette.
Put another log on the fire for me.
Go have a smoke.
Ate some breakfast and coffee. Look out the window. What do I see? A crack in the sky and a hand reaching down to me.
Oh, wait. I'm just going to go to YouTube
today, and it looks as though they're here to stay.
YouTube. I just got to check. My phone's not even connecting it.
By the way, before you tell me who that was, dude.
That's a bad sign if you've got to ask. If you've got to ask, that's a bad sign, Nick.
Okay, well.
What are we coming to?
Well, explain to me how a capacitor works.
You. I think about
you have a like the tone of your voice is good, and you sing in tune.
Wow.
Yeah, you're good. I'm not kidding.
No, we're still live. I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
weird, eh?
You live on YouTube?
Well, then we might as well all sing then. Just go out that way.
Let's sing a Pogues drunken song.
Fucking hell, that's asking a lot.